home at Stevenage. Angus Patterson.
All over at the Lamex, Stevenage 0, Stockport 1. The Stevenage players get a taste of their own medicine. It was their late winner last time out against Wigan that secured a playoff spot, but Stockport will take a deserved 1-0 lead back to Edgeley Park on Wednesday night, thanks to Ben Osborne's last-minute strike, set up by Benno Andreasen, who stole the ball in the Stevenage half and went into the penalty area. Shot, unfortunately, wasn't released. He went down, but it rolled through, and Osborne was there for the tap-in. A scrappy goal, but Stockport won't care. Full time at the end of this first leg. Stevenage 0, Stockport 1.
Brighton and Bournemouth are continuing their push for Europe. They're still playing at Craven Cottage, where Bournemouth lead Fulham by 1-0. Very comfortable for Brighton this afternoon. John Southall.
Absolutely, really important win this for Brighton. Brighton 3, Wolves 0. We were spoiled in the opening 5 minutes with 2 of the goals, both headers. Jack Hinshelwood after 35 seconds and Lewis Dunk with the second. Wolves improved in the second half. Mascara hit the bar, but this their 13th away defeat. Their misery compounded late on when Minter smashed in the third. So Brighton up to 7th, 2 to play. They are right in the European mix. Brighton 3, Wolves 0.
Bournemouth holding on at Fulham. Aaron Paul.
Yeah, they are. That's because the quality from Fulham in the final thirds has been absolutely lacking. We've seen Josh King on as a second half substitute, swing across in. Everyone buried in the Bournemouth half, and he's just popped it out over the far side, and it's gone behind for a goal kick. It's the story of Fulham's afternoon. Bournemouth ahead through a fabulous strike from Rayan. They've come closest. They've been the better team, adapting better to having 10 men. Both of these sides, by the way, down to 10 following the sendings off of Ryan Christie and Joachim Anderson. This win, if Bournemouth hang on, will see them go to within 3 points of Aston Villa, who are yet to play. 2 and a bit minutes to go, Mark. We're 92 of 95 played. Fulham 0, Bournemouth 1.
In the Scottish Premiership this afternoon, in the bottom half, Aberdeen 2, Dundee United 0. Dundee United down to 10 in that game. Dundee have beaten already relegated Livingston by 3-0. Horrible afternoon for St Mirren. Kenny Crawford.
Full-time score, St Mirren 0, Kilmarnock 3. Pre-match, both managers said their teams would go all out for a vital 3 points, but it was Kilmarnock who backed up those words with the right actions. The visitors' first was fortunate through Freckleton's own goal, but the second and third were classy. 2 tremendous finishes from the left corner of the box by on-loan Rangers winger Finlay Curtis, turning out to be a valuable January signing. The outcome means Neil McCann's Kelly stay 10th, but are now 4 points clear of St Mirren, who occupy the relegation playoff spot with 2 games to go. St Mirren 0, Kilmarnock 3.
In the top half of the table, Falkirk 1, Hibs 3. Tonight at 8 o'clock, Leaders' Hearts go to Motherwell. Tomorrow lunchtime here on 5 Live, you'll hear the Old Firm. It's a midday kick-off. Still 2-2 in the National League South playoff final between Hornchurch and Torquay. Kidderminster through in the National League North playoff final earlier. They'll play in the National League next season. In the Women's Super League earlier, 2 goals for Alessia Russo as Arsenal won 3-0 at Aston Villa. At the playoff stage in the Scottish lower divisions as well. In the Championship, Airdrieonians 1, Alloa 2. Alloa go through to the final. Stenhousemuir 1, Queen of the South 1. 2-2 on aggregate. They're playing extra time there in the League One playoffs. Hamilton beat Forfar 2-1. They go through on aggregate. Clyde and Spartans drew 1-1, but Clyde go through on aggregate. And in the first leg of the League Two relegation playoffs, Brora Rangers 1, Edinburgh City 1. In the Women's Six Nations earlier, big win for England. They won 61-33 against Italy. It's currently, as they approach half-time, Scotland 14, France 26. Leicester are thrashing Northampton in the Gallagher Prem. They lead 46-12 as they approach full time at Welford Road. Still waiting for the final whistle at the Cottage. Aaron.
What a chance for Fulham. Long throw popped in towards the D by Anthony Robinson, knocked on by Oscar Bobb, and it's really well done by Josh King, getting on for his left, onto his right. He drilled the ball towards goal. Keeper beat him. It rattled off the frame and bounced away, and now Fulham have a corner over there on the far side. We've just seen a big chance miss for Bournemouth to put this game to bed as well. Amin Adli, 2 yards out. I don't know how he hasn't put it in. The goal was gaping. He's just knocked the ball against his standing leg and it's bounced away. He's had his head in his hands for the past few seconds, but we are at the 95-minute mark. Ball popped into the middle, headed away by Enes Unal, and it will be another throw into Fulham. And now the last roll of the dice in this one for Marco Silva's side. Fulham 0, Bournemouth 1.
In the Men's Challenge Cup, Wigan have thrashed Saints by 32 points to 0. Has the final whistle gone at Welford Road? Chris?
Not quite. 2 minutes to go. Leicester 4 41, Northampton 12. They actually had a try chalked off, did Leicester, because of a high shot by Isaiah Parise. He's been sent off. Northampton have scored. Tommy Freeman, 41-17. So it could have been even worse for Northampton, but a 14-point swing or so there. Ultimately, though, this has been a thrashing. A famous day for Leicester. They've been physical, confrontational, bossed the breakdown, efficient and clever. They lead by 41 points to 12 Leicester with just under a minute to go.
So hang on, because I'll trust you rather than my app, which has it. So it's 41-12.
It was 46-12. That try was chalked off.
Right.
Will one scored because the tackle that led to the turnover was a high shot from Parisi. He's been sent off. Northampton then scored a try. Tommy Freeman's got his second, just waiting for the kick from Finn Smith. I'm not sure if he's taken it already. It looks like he has. Leicester 41, Northampton 12 with a minute or so to go.
Bournemouth are 6. Aaron Paul.
1 goal, 2 red cards, 3 big points for the Cherries in the quest of Europe. The first half was poor, but those dismissals, Sir Ryan Christian, Joachim Anderson, added jeopardy to the game, and it was Bournemouth who struck. Rayan drilling the ball in, and Leno's near post with the bounce awkward for the goalkeeper. Fulham come close. Oscar Bob hitting the crossbar. Sorry, it's Josh King who hit the crossbar, but it's Bournemouth who stick on to make it 16 unbeaten. They go 3 points behind Aston Villa into 6th. Fulham 0, Bournemouth 1.
Tomorrow on 5 Live, Celtic Rangers at noon, Forest Newcastle at 2, West Ham Arsenal at 4:30. Still to come, Manchester City Brentford this evening after Sports Report, which is next.
World Championship boxing here on BBC 5 Live and BBC Sounds.
Another all-British epic. Two of British boxing's most dangerous men go head-to-head.
Fabio Wardley, victory from the jaws of defeat. Reaches and lands the right hand once again.
Fabio Wardley and Daniel Dubois clash for the heavyweight title. Here, ringside commentary. Tonight from 10 on 5 Live and BBC Sounds.
Good afternoon, I'm Mark Chapman. You're listening to BBC Radio 5 Live at just after 5 o'clock, and this is Sports Report. The headlines this Saturday tea time. Bournemouth are still on course for European football.
Ryan's picked it up, 25 yards from goal, left foot, deflected it in, and Bournemouth lead. The Cherries are ahead at Fulham. Could the European dream be on?
Fulham 0, Bournemouth 1 is how it finished at Craven Cottage. Brighton are 7th after they beat Wolves 3-0. Liverpool are edging closer to Champions League qualification. They drew 1-1 with Chelsea.
We started off really well, scored a goal. We were very close from a set piece scoring the second, and then after that we struggled to control the game.
Finished Sunderland 0, Manchester United 0 at 5:30. Manchester City aim to keep their title hopes alive at home to Brentford. Ali.
City can't afford another slip up after the drop points at Everton. They're 5 points behind Arsenal. This the game in hand, still no Rodri. Brentford have more than enough motivation themselves as they chase a first ever foray into European football.
Middlesbrough and Southampton finished goalless in the Championship playoff first leg. Stockport left it late to beat Stevenage 1-0 in the League One playoff first leg. In the Scottish Premiership, Kilmarnock won 3-0 at St Mirren and now have a 4-point cushion from the relegation playoff spot. Arsenal beat Aston Villa 3-0 in the WSL to seal a place in the Women's Champions League next season. Leicester have beaten Northampton in the Gallagher Prem. England thrash Italy 61-33 and are on course for another Women's Six Nations title. Wigan Warriors men are through to the Challenge Cup final after a 32-0 win against St Helens. Wigan's women also through after beating York. Novak Djokovic and Cameron Norrie are out of the Italian Open, and there is plenty to get through between now and 5:30 when we'll have commentary of Manchester City against Brentford. In the Premier League today, I'll give you all of today's results. Liverpool 1, Chelsea 1 at lunchtime. Brighton 3, Wolves 0, Fulham 0, Bournemouth 1, both sides down to 10, and Sunderland 0, Manchester United 0. This was our base at 3 o'clock, Ian Dennis.
Yes, a point is the very least that Sunderland deserved. They were the better side. They created the better opportunities in the driving rain and autumnal conditions. Sunderland were full of intensity. Their energy levels never dropped. Brobby, a real handful. Lamon saved when one-on-one with Siddiqui early on. He then turned away a Brobby shot just past the hour and Herr Trauder struck the base of the post. United made 5 changes. Zerke was ineffective. They were actually on course to fail to have a shot on target in a Premier League match since a 1-0 home defeat against Southampton since January 2015 under Louis van Gaal until the 93rd minute. Cunha's effort killed that statistic when he shot straight at roofs.
The last few weeks, Paul Robinson, I've had to cram loads in during Sports Report. I've normally only had about 17 minutes to do it, but it's 4 minutes past 5 and I've got to get to 5:30. So what do you want to say about that game?
I thought Sunderland were excellent, I really did. I think there's a real glaring problem that they've got, and it's the creativity and the goals in the final third. When you look at their players, there's not one of their players this season that's in double figures. But like Ian said there, Brian Brobby's a real handful. He's an all-round, old-fashioned centre-forward. If you could add goals to his game, he'd be a top-class player, really would. He works extremely hard. He's not afraid of the battle with Maguire and Martinez. And I thought Sunderland took the game to Manchester United today. You can look at Manchester United's performance and it's not been as fluid as in recent weeks. Certainly the win against Liverpool, the home game against Brentford, and then the win at Chelsea. They weren't at that type of level today, and you've got to give Sunderland credit for not allowing them to get to that type of level. The work rate that they had, just looked at the stats after the game, and Sunderland ran nearly 3 kilometres more as a collective than the Manchester United side did. So yes, it wasn't a Manchester United performance that we were expecting, but for Sunderland and where they've come to this season, that was a mark of what he's done, Regis Labrise, with his side.
Thank you both, Ian Dennis, Paul Robinson. Let's hear from Granit Xhaka with Gary Flintoff.
Well, Granit, well played today, but I do sense there is a little bit of disappointment in the fact you haven't won the game. Would that be fair?
Yeah, you are always disappointed when you don't win. We have the hunger and the desire to win games, and if it didn't happen, you are disappointed. But we need to give to the respect as well to United. They are in a run. You can see that the luck is a little bit on their side as well with our post, for example, shot. But yeah. In general, I think we did a great game today, showed big character against a good team, and I said before, just keep working, believing in ourselves, believing in the process, and good things will happen.
As you say, you did play really well today. It's just in that final third, and it's sort of been a story throughout the season. You've scored some good goals this season, but perhaps you haven't scored enough goals this season.
I don't know if it's enough if you get 48 points. Don't forget where we come from. And I think, of course, the demand from outside is big. We are demanding each other as well to score goals, not to concede many, to stay together with a good energy. But this is our first season together with many new faces, new staff and all these things. And it's good not to forget the reality. But we are working on this. And how I say, the process is not from today, tomorrow. It takes time sometimes. And just be proud of what we are doing at the moment. I think that we are doing a great season, and we don't need to forget, how I say, where we come from.
And listening to those words, does that show the desire within the squad that you've got survival, you've reached that target, but you're not willing just to settle for that?
I don't think so. One player who came new, but even the old ones, but as well the target of the club was to think about survival. Mm-hmm. It was to take as many points as possible and to see where we are in the end. And this is the most important thing. I think that if you stay humble, you keep working, you believe in yourself, you keep the energy what we have in the team as well is very important to survive in this Premier League. But how I say, there is a big process, big challenge in front of us. Now the last 2 games, next season and the next couple of years, and we want to be part of it and give everything and to be proud of ourselves.
Takes Sunderland into 12th in the Premier League table. Manchester United stay third. I'll give you the relevant positions in the table that have been affected by today's games in just a moment. But Bournemouth are 6th after another win in a game that was reduced to 10-a-side at Fulham. Aaron Paul.
Absolutely. Fulham 0, Bournemouth 1. The Cherries now 16 unbeaten in Anthony Iraola's farewell season, and this was a tough one, Mark. It really was. Fulham had the better of the first half, but just weren't clinical enough. It's a story of their season. Fulham really, really poor in front of goal. Then you had those two incidents with regards to red cards. Ryan Christie with a naughty challenge on Timothy Castagna, his yellow upgraded to a red. Minutes later, Joachim Andersen heads onto the crossbar for Fulham, who thought they had gone a goal up. That was a big chance, and then they were really in the ascendancy, and his lack of discipline then pretty much cost his side the game. His challenge on Truffaut's marching in towards goal was upgraded from a yellow to a red. But it's Bournemouth who controlled the game better in the second half. Marco Silva threw players on, tried to get something going, but the quality of Rayan and co really shined through, and that goal, when he cuts in off the right onto his left and just buries it into the corner, the bounce really awkward. It had whip, it had dip, it had everything you wanted on that shot into the corner, into the near post. And Bernd Leno's a very good goalkeeper. The bounce just evaded him, and that was enough to see Bournemouth beat Fulham by a goal to nil. There was a chance at the end. Amin Adli really should have buried it, but 16 unbeaten. The Champions League, a real possibility now. Fulham's European hopes are pretty much done, and it all turns to maybe this messy divorce between themselves and Marco Silva, with his contract ending in a month or so's time. All over. Fulham 0, Bournemouth 1. Reaction to come.
Brighton beat Wolves 3-0. We'll go there shortly, but here is how the table looks below the top two. So Manchester United 65, Liverpool after their draw with Chelsea 59, Villa 58, they've got a game in hand on those around them, Bournemouth 55, Brighton 53, Brentford have a game in hand as well, that's coming up at Manchester City, they have 51, Chelsea have 49. Ashley Williams watched this game, the Fulham-Bournemouth game at Craven Cottage. Did they deserve the win?
Yeah, I think they did. I think, as Aaron said, it was an end-to-end game. Both teams were going for the win from the start. The two red cards affected it, especially the Anderson one. Was interesting that, I think Fulham probably would have went on and feel like they could have dictated the game. But I thought it was a great move from the Bournemouth manager, who we've all sung his praises all season. He took off Evan Nilsson, his striker, in a game that they needed to win, and put on Tyler Adams, and he was brilliant in just disrupting everything Fulham did. But Bournemouth full of confidence as they have been, as Aaron said, they're unbeaten in 16 Premier League games. Only Bayern Munich and AC Milan, who have enjoyed longer undefeated runs in Europe's top 5 leagues this
you're
season.
You're statted up, aren't you?
As always, chappers, you know how I operate.
Are you having? I don't think there's much debate about the Ryan Christie red card, is there? Really?
No, I agree with that one.
Do you think Anderson's a bit unlucky?
Yeah, I think he's unlucky with that one. I can see why it was upgraded to a red, but I think he's unlucky. I think it's just his right foot that bounces off the ball, and then it appears to be high. So I feel for him a little bit in that one.
You were part of a Swansea side that qualified for Europe. When you look at this now, Bournemouth 55 and Brighton 53, Brentford with this game at City in hand on 51. How important is it do you think, is it for clubs of this size? We were having a debate earlier, between 12 and 3 about there may be some Brentford fans who aren't convinced that actually they want to be in Europe next season, of how it might affect their season the following year. How do you view it?
I can completely understand that, because some of these teams probably aren't equipped to fight on two fronts when it's so difficult. But as a player and as a club, and as you mentioned with Swansea, it was such a big thing for any of those teams you mentioned, Bournemouth, Brighton, Brentford. It just brings a different sparkle to the place and to the club, and then you can attract better players that want to play in the Champions League, that want to play in Europe on the biggest stage. So I think it'd be massive. I don't think you could forfeit playing in the Champions League for your Premier League season. You've just got to be confident you can do it on both fronts.
Have a good one. Thank
Cheers,
you,
chappers.
Ashley and Wayne, alongside Gabby tonight, 10:20 on BBC One. Straight to the Amex, one of Brighton's goal scorers, live on Sports Report after their 3-0 win over Wolves with John Southall.
It took him 35 seconds to score today. Jack Hinshelwood is with us. Thanks for your patience, waiting for your manager to finish the interview. Well, what a start to the game, and just tell us about the goal after 35 seconds, the quickest ever Premier League goal for Brighton.
I think we always try to come out the blocks really fast and put our intensity there and make it tough for our opponent. And when the ball went wide to Maxi, we spoke just before the game that when he was to receive the ball, he's always going to look to try put it in, and he did exactly that, and I just went and attacked it as hard as I could, and ended up in the net, which was a really nice feeling and set us on our way today.
Yeah. How important was this today? You're up to 7th, you've got 2 games left. I mean, you've put yourself in a great position for European football now.
I think it's important we take care of what we got to take care of. We did that today very well, getting 3 points against Wolves. But we got a really tough fixture next weekend, going away to Ellen Road, which is a tough place to go. And we got to do the same again, and the same again at home to United, and then we'll see where that takes us.
As players, do you allow yourself to think, what could happen? I mean, it could still be Champions League, that 6th place.
Again, it's probably a boring answer. You're not going to want to hear it, but we got to do what we got to do. There is a situation where 6th gets Champions League, but we got to take care of what we got to take care of. We got to finish 6th first. So we're doing everything we can to win the next 2 games and see where that takes us.
Too much media training, Jack. That's the problem. That's the problem here. What does it mean for you? Because obviously you've come up through Brighton to be in this position, to be playing in that position you're playing in now, and scoring.
I think I always like to get myself in the box, and this position is really allowing me to do that. I've got to put thanks to the manager who has put trust in me to keep playing there, and probably when I first started playing there I was getting in the right positions, a lot of chances but weren't scoring, so got to thank him for sticking with me, and I'm still doing the same things I was doing there, but now they seem to be ending up in the net, so I just got to keep putting myself in those positions and hopefully get some more.
Well done, keep taking each game as it comes. Good luck. Thanks for talking to us. Cheers.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
Jack Hinshelwood live with John Southall on Sports Report. Let's go to the early game at Anfield. Liverpool 1, Chelsea 1. Here's Arne Slot.
We started off really well, scored a goal. We're very close from a set piece scoring the second, and then after that we struggled to control the game. They were able to find their midfielders a lot. They played with a lot of midfielders, so our timing and when to pick up who was not always perfect. And in that spell they were the better team without getting big chances, but they were the better team, and they did score from a set piece, which led to the 1-1. And I think in the second half we changed our setup a little bit, how we wanted to press. That straight away led to them scoring a goal, which was the good thing for us offside. But then afterwards we did that much better than the first half, so that's why we could take control a bit more and hit the post and hit the bar. But it didn't go in.
Let's hear from the Chelsea interim head coach then, Callum McFarlane.
Yeah, it's a good point. It's a good performance. I thought it was a game that could have went either way, to be fair. I thought we had moments where we could have won the game, which is disappointing to not do that. But you come here, you play against a really good side. Much improved performance in every aspect, so we're pleased.
Didn't start very well though, did it? I mean, it could easily have sort of unravelled from there, having conceded as early as the 5th minute.
Yeah, it was disappointing to concede that goal. We'll have a look at that and look at the reasons why. A much better reaction from the early goal we conceded last week, so that's a positive, and that's what you have to do at this level. At any moment, Premier League teams can have a moment, score a goal, a bit of quality, so you have to. It's not going to be perfect, and I was pleased with the response.
You can see everything Match of the Day at 10:20 tonight on BBC One. Let's move into the playoffs. Championship playoff semi-final first leg at the Riverside finished goalless between Middlesbrough and Southampton in a game that Middlesbrough dominated. Post-match was dominated about the allegations that Southampton have been spying on Middlesbrough's training. The EFL are investigating that. So let's hear from Southampton head coach Tonda Eckhart with Mike Minay.
I know the club have made their statement. I know you've said your bit as well, Tonda. How whether wrongdoing or not, how different has the preparation been in the last 48 hours of the distraction? Have you managed to keep the players focused?
Yeah, of course. We need to focus on the job, and the job was to have a good performance today and have a good performance on Tuesday, and that hasn't changed.
And within that, it clearly riled the Middlesbrough fans up. They made it hostile for you coming in the ground. They made it hostile before kick-off. And your players rode that storm and have come away with a credible 0-0 draw.
Yeah, and again, I think 2 big chances to win it at the end. So we take all of the positives from today and take them into Tuesday.
What did you change at half time, given how that first half went? Was it what you expected that first half to be, or was it a little surprising?
Yeah, I think you have to give credit to Middlesbrough that they are capable to make you suffer in some moments of the game, and that's credit to them. It's not the first time this has happened here, and we knew that we will need to suffer in some moments of the game, and then the game opened up in the second half, and again I think towards the end the big chances were clearly on our side.
And finally, 20 Championship games unbeaten now. All you've got to do is make it 21 and you're at Wembley.
Sounds easier than it is, but we'll make sure we do everything to continue.
That was Tonda Eckhart then. Here's his opposite number, Kim Hellberg.
Fantastic performance if you look at 95 minutes from us. First off, one of the best I've seen on English soil since I arrived here. Second half is an even football game, which opens up a little bit. They get some transitions, they get some balls into the box. We have the same. To be fair, I think they have the best chance in the second half. But over 90 minutes, we should have won this. I think that was quite easy to see from the stands, but we didn't. And then you have to take the result, don't lose it the last 10, which we didn't, and go to their ground and try to win it.
And you've done all of this today on the background of the last 48 hours as well. What has that been like from your perspective? Southampton yet to deny any wrongdoing, but or confirm any wrongdoing either way, but what have you made of it from the Middlesbrough side?
Oh, it's I said it many times. It's weird. It's unfair. It's disrespectful. It's a lot of the things that is not okay. And like we said, it has nothing to do with Southampton supporters, Southampton players. I think they are amazing in many ways. So it has nothing to do with them. But what those persons that decided to do that and try to take advantage in an unfair way is it's not okay.
Kim Hellberg there, he went on to say in his press conference, I couldn't believe my eyes or ears. I couldn't believe it when I was told a second time or a third time. It's quite clear that they, and I don't mean the players or fans of Southampton, I think they're brilliant and they have nothing to do with it, but someone has made the decision to cheat. And is there a suspicion that they've done this to other clubs this season? I'm just thinking about that now. We found them in the bushes. The first League One playoff semi-final first leg waited a long time for a goal. It came late on and it went the way of the visitors. Angus Patterson.
Stevenage 0, Stockport County 1. Stockport scored deep into stoppage time through Ben Osborne as Benno Andreasen stole the ball, went through looking for a penalty, went down. Teammates came in trying to win the loose ball. Stevenage defenders seemed to stop, wanting a free kick, and the referee said play on. Ben Osborne did. Ironically, Stevenage had a similar moment earlier in the half when Dan Kemp was away on the counter and chose to go down looking for a penalty rather than shooting, and the referee, it didn't oblige there neither. And those were really the most dramatic moments in a game otherwise very, very low on quality. So advantage Stockport at half-time in the tie. Stevenage haven't scored more than one away from home since December, but that was in their 3-1 win at Stockport. They'll need to replicate it to get to Wembley. It ends Stevenage 0, Stockport 1.
Let's go straight back to the Stadium of Light, live on Sports Report with Gary Flintoff. Here's Michael Carrick.
Thank you, Mark. Yes, Michael, as always, thank you for your time. Did we see another face of Manchester United today to dig in, work hard and come away with something?
Yeah, I quite like that aspect of it. I think it was it didn't come easy. Credit to Sunderland. I think we know this is a tough place and it has been for some time. So to come and try and get a result, so we knew it was going to be a challenge today, and we can play a bit better. We weren't totally at our best, but actually the habit of taking something from the game and keeping a clean sheet and actually finishing really strongly and having moments and chances at the end to possibly win the game. I think there's a lot of positives still to take from that, the good habits and the mentality that the boys showed in large parts today. I was quite happy with.
There was such a high last week with the win against Liverpool, the way in which you played, you secured Champions League qualification for next season as well. I know that motivation should be there enough because you're playing for Manchester United, but how do you keep your players sharp between now and the end of the season?
There's a number of things. I think there's personal pride. I think there's pride in the football club. I think there's it's that mentality, the attitude and wanting to do the right things and standards and good habits. All them things come into play. And I have to say the way the boys prepared for the game, the way they left the changing room, I could feel that they were ready for it, and we had to be. I think if we come onto that today and we weren't in the right frame of mind, then we wouldn't have dealt with it in the way we did, because it was a challenging game, and that's okay. Sometimes football's challenging, it's a tough league. and it's not always going to be maybe free flowing and loads of goals. So today was what it was. It was a away performance. We took the point, and at this stage of proceedings, I think it's a good habit to get into.
Thanks for joining us on Sports Report.
Cheers. Michael Carrick live with Gary Flintoff. Turn our attentions to Scotland. In the top half of the Scottish Premiership, finished Falkirk 1, Hibs 3. All about the bottom half this afternoon, though, really. Aberdeen 2, 10-man Dundee United 0. Dundee 3, already relegated Livingston 0. And it looks like it's going to take a miracle for St Mirren to get out of the relegation playoff place. They were beaten 3-0 at home by Kilmarnock. Kenny Crawford.
Yes, when you're in the throes of a relegation scrap, Mark, it's handy to be able to call in the services of a promising young Scotland international. Finlay Curtis certainly answered the call today. 19 years old, on loan from Rangers at Kilmarnock. 2 wonderfully steered finishes from the left-hand side into the bottom right-hand corner. Thierry Henry would approve, I'm sure. Steve Clarke gave Curtis his first cap in March. This brace might just have secured his seat on the plane for the States. As for St Mirren, they're in a sorry state. 5 defeats on the bounce, and lacking bounce as the Buddies stare the prospect of a relegation playoff in the face. 4 points adrift in 11th with 2 games to go. St Mirren 0, Kilmarnock 3.
Motherwell Hearts tonight at 8 o'clock in the race for the title. The Old Firm tomorrow here on 5 Live from noon. Elsewhere in Scotland today, in the Championship playoffs, Airdrieonians 1, Alloa 2. Alloa go through on aggregate. Stenhousemuir, Queen of the South, went to extra time. Stenhousemuir are now 2-1 up on the afternoon, and that means that they would go through on aggregate as well. The League One playoffs, Hamilton beat Forfar 2-1. Spartans 1, Clyde 1. Clyde and Hamilton go through to the final. And in the first leg of who will play in League 2 next season, Brora Rangers and Edinburgh City finished 1-1. Back to England, National League North playoff final went the way of Kidderminster. They beat South Shields by 2-0. Hornchurch and Torquay level at 2-2 in the second period of extra time. In the WSL earlier, 2 goals for Alicia Russo helped Arsenal beat Aston Villa 3-0, and that guarantees them Champions League football next season. Let's go to the Gallagher Prem. Big win for Leicester this afternoon at home to Northampton. Chris Jones.
Leicester 41, Northampton 17. A scoreline that suggests a rout, and it was. Leicester outstanding. A game built on aggression, snarl, breakdown, dominance. The whole forward pack excellent. Ollie Chesham led superbly. George Martin looked back to his best after his long injury layoff. Jamie Blameyer was man of the match. But they scored some lovely tries too, 6 in all. Wingers Adam Radwan, Ollie Hassel-Collins both scored. They were constant threats. This win takes them within 1 point of second place Bath, and while it's still in Northampton and Bath's hands to make the top 2, if Leicester can get a semi-final back here, they will take some beating in front of this raucous Welford Road crowd. Northampton stay top, but they leave here empty-handed. They can't be so badly outplayed if they're to win back their Prem title. But for Leicester, it was the kind of performance that puts the rest of the league on red alert. Leicester 41, Northampton 17.
Bristol Sarries is a 5:30 kick-off. Bulls and Sharks winners in the United Rugby Championship earlier. Marley Packer got 4 tries as England thrashed Italy 61-33 in the Women's Six Nations. Here she is.
My secret weapon at the moment, I'm just enjoying it. I've got a smile back on my face and I'm actually getting some good minutes, I guess. Obviously, the last couple of years, Sardi has got the nod over me, which, fair play, but, I've got my opportunity at the moment and I'm just enjoying it, and that's just what I want to do, play with a smile. There's no pressure. Maggie's obviously captain. I'm just here to support her, to support the leadership group, to just be a part of this Red Roses and make every game and every moment we're together an enjoyable one.
Queen of the South have just equalised against Stenhousemuir in those championship playoffs in Scotland, so that's now 3-3 on aggregate. The other Women's Six Nations game is into the second half. It's Scotland 14, France 36. Wigan's women are into the final of the Challenge Cup after beating York 52-0. They're defending their title. Wigan's men also through. They beat St Helens 32-0. Man of the match was Jack Farriman.
I think it was amazing. 1-3-17, all the lads. We've had a rough spot, and I think we've come out the other side of it in a better place. Obviously, some tough lessons in the Good Friday game against Saints. So, yeah, we've definitely learned from them lessons, and we've built on that.
Your scrambling defence today. You were put under a lot of pressure, but you found the way.
Yeah, that's it. That's what we've spoken about all week. That's what it takes to win big games and get to them big games. So, yeah, I think all the lads have dug in well, and yeah, we've got the reward for it.
Come on, talk us through that final try as well.
Nah, that's my best. That's my best attribute. A bit of a broken space, scattered defence. So yeah, spotted a gap and pinned me ears back. Luckily, I got there.
And how excited are you that you're going to Wembley?
Yeah, buzzing. Obviously, it'll be my first time in the squad there. Hopefully, if I'm picked, and then obviously it's a great occasion, whether you're in the squad, whether you're not in the squad. So yeah, looking forward to it. Absolutely buzzing.
Robbie Hunter-Paul with the questions there. Cameron Norrie is out of the Italian Open tennis this evening. Yannick Sinner is going for a 6th consecutive Masters 1000 title. Russell Fuller.
Beginning his campaign, Mark, exactly 12 months on from making his comeback from a 3-month doping ban to an ecstatic welcome here in Italy. And he is still very much the national hero a year on as he tries to become the first Italian male champion here for 50 years. It's also the only one of the 9 Masters 1000 titles he has never won. Sebastian Offner of Austria will be trying to beat him on the Campo Centrale about an hour from now, a court which has just witnessed the defeat of the women's world number 1 Arina Sabalenka, who lost 7-5 in the decider to Romania's Sorana Costea. And as for Cameron Norrie, losing 6-3, 7-5 to Argentina's world number 69, Thiago Agustin Tirante. So a blowout for the British singles players here in Rome.
Thank you very much. One line from the racing today. The Derby trials were at Lingfield. The William Haggas-trained Maltese Cross prevailed, ridden by Tom Marquand. You are up to date with all the day's sport. Our attention now turns back to the title race, but also the race for Europe as far as Brentford are concerned. They're at the Etihad. Manchester City, Brentford in full with, as Ian Dennis described them earlier, the firm of 5 Live solicitors, Bruce, Ball and Brown.
Thank you very much, Mark. Perfect timing. Welcome to the Etihad Stadium, everyone. We're about to begin the latest chapter in the Premier League title race this season, which has toed and froed in the last few weeks. 3 weeks ago, Manchester City beat Arsenal by 2-1, got themselves the win at Burnley a few days later, went ahead, went to the top of the table on goals scored, but they're the team that has blinked first since then. The 3-3 draw away at Everton on Monday means they start this one 5 points behind Arsenal, this the game in hand. So after this one, both teams will have just 3 games to play, and it's not mathematically must win, Michael, because we don't know what Arsenal are going to do yet, and obviously West Ham are fighting for their lives in that game tomorrow. You'll be able to hear West Ham Arsenal in full on 5 Live tomorrow, but Manchester City surely see this one here this evening as must win.
It's got to that stage, hasn't it? It is a must win because and expect Arsenal to be right on the pulse. They might be able to slip a little bit, obviously, in the game against West Ham. City have still got it all to do as well. That game away at Brentford, obviously the disappointment of that second half against Everton has changed everything. No Nico in the middle of the pitch. Is it one of those that Pep's going to say, right, Reinders we know can make the box, Bernardo, you just sit and try and get us ticking and try and attack. But high line now from City. Brentford are going to try and jump out. They're playing with such confidence.
Michael Coyote comes bombing on from right back. He's chased the ball all the way up the field, goes herring into the Manchester City penalty area away to our left, and the City players cleverly work the ball around him. Nathan Ake and Tijani Reinders, the 2 changes for Manchester City for this one. Abdulkadir Husanov is missing. We're told there was a physical challenge with Beto in the game on Monday night. Felt a slight issue in his groin, hasn't made the matchday squad today. Nico Gonzalez drops to the bench, and Rodri, crucial player of course, still missing for Manchester City, hasn't featured since the 2-1 win against Arsenal. Brentford in the red and white vertical stripes, black shorts, black socks, playing from right to left in the first half. They've conceded possession here. Nico O'Reilly sweeps the ball to the left. Doku scored twice on Monday night. Here's his first run at Coyote. Into that Brentford penalty area, right-footed drive, saved by Kelleher, palmed away. The rebound is up in the air. Damsgaard is back there to nod it away for Brentford, and Manchester City hungry for possession, win it back and get it back to Donnarumma.
Yeah, you're just looking at it straight away, the 1v1s, and when you say Coyote going all the way up the pitch, it's such a dangerous tactic because Doku's been in sensational form. He's just flaying with confidence. Here he is now, he just gets it and says, right, I'm going to have a go, I'm going to make something happen.
Yeah, stadium's abuzz. Doku moving at speed, Coyote backing off, Doku prods it into the penalty area. Matthias Jensen gets a foot on it, knocks it away and out for a throw-in to Manchester City. 2 changes for Brentford from their 3-0 win over West Ham last weekend. Aaron Hickey has come in, Christopher Ayer has come in, Seth van den Berg, and Dango Ouattara has dropped to the bench along with Van den Berg. So Keane Lewis Potter is playing further forward for Brentford in this one. I'll run you through the 2 full lineups in just a second. And in fact, Michael will give us details on how Brentford are lining this up. But here's Doku again. 3rd chance to run at Coyote. Plays it to O'Reilly. There's the cut back into the penalty area, looking for Reinders. And again, Brentford get bodies in the way. Ball is down by the dead ball line on the right-hand side there. That's Yamal Yuk, who is under pressure. It's over by the corner flag. Everyone's appealing for a throw-in. And the referee, Michael Salisbury's got to make a decision. And he's decided that is a throw into Manchester City. So what are Brentford doing?
Yeah, you're just looking at it because we thought when he's bringing Aaron Hickey in that he was going to slide in the defensive shape somewhere, whether he'd go to left back, but actually Lewis Potter stayed at left back and he's put Hickey in midfield. He's actually tried to jump on top of Bernardo, wherever he is. He said, right, jump right on top of him, have a little look, see what it is. We want to stop him playing straight away. So we thought there was lots of changes, but it wasn't. It was just someone's gone into the middle of the pitch as it changes through. He's through everybody.
Yeah, that's an interesting one from Keith Andrews, who's done such a brilliant job for Brentford so far this season. So Aaron Hickey, the Scottish international, who returned from injury as a sub against West Ham last week, is now playing in this Brentford midfield. The ball's gone out for another Manchester City throw, and it is Manchester City 0, Brentford 0. And as Mark Chapman quite rightly said, I mean, the race for those European spots and potentially Champions League football. Don't forget, if Aston Villa win the Europa League and finish 5th, then 6th in the Premier League will get Champions League football next season. That team is currently Bournemouth after their win this afternoon. They're on 55 points. Brighton beat Wolves, they're on 53. Brentford start today on 51. Manchester City in the light blue shirts with the white diagonal line across the chest, white shorts, Mateus Nunes on the turn, light blue socks with the dark blue tops. Antoine Semenyo, just 1 goal in the last 10 games for him, gets a first touch of the evening action. Back it comes to Ake. Ake's alongside Gahey in central defence. So Gahey is the right-sided centre-back this evening. Ake the left side, O'Reilly at left back, Mateus Nunes at right back, Donnarumma in goal, Bernardo Silva and Reinders in front of them, Semenyo, Shirky, Doku and Erling Harland on the bench. Still no Rodri. Ruben Dias back amongst the subs for this one. Brentford have won it inside the Manchester City half. There's Lewis Potter from the left back position. Schade plays it to Jensen. Damsgaard's involved. First time ball to Lewis Potter. Wants to get an early cross in. Donnarumma watches it curl past and go behind for the goal kick. So 5 minutes, almost 6 minutes played at the Etihad. 5 Live and BBC Sounds, Manchester City 0, Brentford 0. Bruce Ball and Brown as a legal firm. Michael, do you think we can make that work?
Well, I think we can make our invoice work. That might show. I think that's what he's meaning, is it?
Yeah, sort some contracts out for Mark Chapman. I mean, there'd be big money in that, I would have thought.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Gahey, cross to Mateus Nunes, plays back to Gahey again. Gahey's mistake, of course, that began the slip for Manchester City on Monday night away at Everton. Ake clips it away with his left foot. Coyote's got his arms around Doku. Doku falls to the floor. City fans want a free kick. Referee's not going to give it. Thiago's ball is looking for the forward run of Jensen. It's blocked by Ake and goes out for a throw in to Brentford. And Pep Guardiola is mimicking the arms round Doku that he felt Coyote was employing there.
Yeah, we just had a shot on our monitors as well about a number 5 here for Manchester City in Andy Morris, and a former teammate of mine who's obviously been really ill. We just had a shot of him in the crowd as well.
Yeah.
It's great to see him back here. He's been struggling late, so we all wish him well, and it was a nice reaction there from the supporters.
Absolutely right, Michael. Yeah, former teammate of Michael Brown's, former Manchester City captain, gave us an update on the Ramsey Hunt syndrome that he is struggling with. The throw into the penalty area. Donnarumma's all over the place, throws himself to the floor. Referee's not going to give a free kick for that. We saw that against Everton on Monday night as well, and Manchester City have scrambled the ball away, but Donnarumma came, didn't get there, and then very theatrically threw both arms out and just dropped to the floor looking for the free kick, and referee Michael Salisbury not interested.
Do you know what they're not, you know? I think all of a sudden for Donnarumma, he's got to stop doing it, because he knows there's physical contact. Then he's sort of going, right, can I have the foul? He's now going to have to play through that and trust that the officials are going to look and going to try and help him. But the other way around, he was left there and it just bounced right in front of goal. I'm thinking anybody just poke it in. Nunes clears.
Manchester City 0, Brentford 0. Big night of boxing on 5 Live to follow this evening after 6:06. Here's Doku on the ball in the inside left channel. Again, just wiggling those hips, dropping those shoulders, making things happen. Mateus Nunes whips the ball out low to Semenyo. Semenyo going on the outside. Lewis Potter blocks the cross. It goes behind for a Manchester City corner. Yes, Michael was involved in the preview show last night, which was a great listen. I heard the first hour of that. On my way up to Manchester, Frank Warren joined. Keith Andrews joined, the Brentford manager.
I can't believe
well.
you switched off. What happened in the second half? Is that what, like, good to listen? You let the second half go when all the Brentford chat was coming.
Well, I knew I was working with you today, Michael. I think sometimes there can be, just too much Michael Brown sometimes. Corner's taken short to Semenyo. 0-0 City Brentford. Here's Shirky. Shirky chips the cross into the far post. Ake heads it back across goal, volleyed away, drops at the feet of Thiago, helps it on here to Damsgaard, passes it forward. Nunes has it covered and intercepts for Manchester City. Damsgaard nips in, quick for Brentford, wins the ball, and then Bernardo Silva does a brilliant job there. Saw the danger, watched the ball, made the tackle, and Reinders gets on it for Manchester City deep inside his own half. Brentford will pose a real threat.
Yeah, they will. Damsgaard does so well, but do you know what? That ball should have been bigger. It should have been into the space. Thiago was just waiting to jump on top of it. He got another go of it, but Bernardo, brilliant.
Doku lays it back to Reinders, 25 yards out, slides it into O'Reilly, trying to tee himself up for the shot. Challenge on him from Hickey, and Kelleher, the Brentford keeper, goes racing across the byline, decked out all in pink in that goalkeeping outfit away to our right-hand side. Down on his knees, does well to keep that ball in play. Has Harland had a touch? I don't think I've said Harland's name. That's so often the way, though, isn't it? The first time I do...
Just be careful.
Yeah, exactly.
So many times that's happened, hasn't it? Because you say, right, he's been quiet.
Yeah.
He hasn't scored for a couple of weeks, and he just pops up. Because there's at times he's not in the game. You know, I think that's something where you sort of go, right, how do we do it? How do we get him into it more? But it's so difficult, isn't it? Because it takes it away from something else.
Yeah. We have the two leading contenders. Our producer Rob Schofield pointed this out ahead of kick-off for the Premier League Golden Boot this season, both in action in this game. Harland 25 goals, Thiago 22. Kelleher clears with his left foot. Ake, prodigious leap to get up and win the header, nods it down. Damsgaard controls it in the centre circle. Hickey's under pressure from Doku, gets away from him and plays the ball out to Coyote on the right-hand side. And Pep Guardiola's got a bit of exasperation about him already this evening. I saw as Brentford played out the last time, just sort of threw his hands up. And how are they being able to do that quite so easily? Long ball down the left for Brentford, nodded down by Nunes to the feet of Reinders. Reinders sees space on the right here, sets off, rolls a pass to Semenyo, who's just in front of the Brentford boss Keith Andrews, and Keith Andrews just waving a left hand at his midfielders to try and get them into position.
Keith might not get up if he keeps sitting down in that sort of stance. He's sort of crouching down at the end of his technical area, like a sumo squat.
Yeah.
Hey, Keith's a bit stiff. He might not do that for too much.
Or the trousers could go, couldn't they? Here's Thiago, wide on the right, followed by Gahey. Plays it back down the right-hand side as Brentford continue the attack. That pass is short for Hickey. Doku was alert, got a foot on it. Shirky plays back to Ake on the edge of his own penalty area. Bernardo Silva collects possession and then drives the ball forward with his left foot. Miles too long for Doku, bounces once, and Kelleher is able to chest it down under no pressure at all inside his penalty area and passes out to Nathan Collins. So Manchester City starting this game 5 points behind Arsenal. This the game in hand, and as I said, full commentary tomorrow 4:30 on 5 Live's Premier League Sunday at the London Stadium. West Ham against Arsenal. We've also got Nottingham Forest Newcastle in full at 2 on 5 Live. We've got Burnley Villa on Sports Extra at 2 and Palace Everton on Sports Extra 2. That's a great ball through for Schade. Schade is there. Ake bumps into him. Thiago's there too. Ball might come back to Schade. The referee's given a free kick for Schade's challenge on Ake. That was a strange one, Michael, because Schade and Thiago were almost running onto the same ball, and Schade decided to play the man rather than the ball. He could have gone through and scored maybe, or he could have touched it onto Thiago.
Do you know what? It was a great ball, and what he's just tried to do is think, right, well, if I bump him, I get him out of the way, there's two of us onto one. He just sees he leaves the ball. And I think at that point where the contact comes into the side of the hip of Nathan Ake, it's a correct decision. It's a really good one from the official.
O'Reilly back to Ake. It's only a 5th Premier League start of the season for Nathan Ake, this one. There's Gahey, shovels it out to Nunes. First time ball down the right to Semenyo, deep in his own half. Slightly loose first touch, suddenly becomes a 50-50. Matthias Jensen is strong in the challenge there on Núñez. Helped out by Lewis Potter, prods it to his left to Damsgaard. Here's Jensen again, chased by Núñez. Runs the ball out of play, throwing for Manchester City in the right back position. 5 Live BBC Sounds. Manchester City 0, Brentford 0.
Yeah, Jensen did really well initially, just riding that challenge, and the next time as a midfielder you've covered a lot of ground, you then don't always get them right. It's a good little tussle here with Bernardo Silva, but City are creeping up the pitch, and in the wider positions we've seen obviously one from centre-back as Collins has tried to play over the top. They've got the runners, and there was a really good one. Sade got into a good position, great recovery run from Nathan Ake. Do you know what, he came in at the semi-final actually,
yeah,
and in different times, and he's done really well.
Damsgaard flick finds Hickey, took it past Shirky, who's fouled him. Free kick for Brentford in an attacking position, 7-8 yards in from the left-hand touchline, about level with the penalty spot. So the first proper threat. Well, in fact, there's been the one set piece that Donnarumma struggled to deal with already, but here comes another one potentially that he needs to think about. I saw Rob Green on social media doing one of those sort of quick-fire videos assessing Premier League goalkeepers, and his thoughts on Donnarumma, actually, I thought, Michael, were really interesting. He says sometimes in the lesser games, in inverted commas, he'll switch off and make the mistake, but when it comes to the big moments, in the really big games, he will pull out the blinder that you really need. And I thought that's it's often how it is with him.
It surprised me that Rob switched off in the lesser games. Is that what?
No, not Rob, Donnarumma.
No, is that what happened? Is that what he done? No, I don't believe it. Do you know what? There's more aerial balls maybe in the lesser games where they're putting him under pressure.
Free kick then from the left. Damsgaard looks like he is going to take. No, he'll run over it and leave it for Jensen. Right-footed in-swinger, dangerous, and Donnarumma palms it away on the volley. Doku with an overhead kick. The ball bounces loose inside the Manchester City half. Damsgaard plays it back to Coyote. Coyote, with the socks rolled down, takes it inside Shirky, across to Jensen. Jensen then diagonal pass out to his left, and still forward in the attack is Christopher Ayer, who'll chase this ball down, keep it in play wide on the left. Support from Sade. Sade passes back here to Matthias Jensen. Confident build-up play from Brentford. Just 2 defeats in the last 12 games. Shade's cross in deep to the far post. O'Reilly heads it away. Might drop to Ayer. Side foots it first time here to Yarmolyuk. And Yarmolyuk chases that out to the right, keeps it in play, and comes back, and then the cross comes in. Headed away by Gahey. And Gahey's header will go out of play for a throw into Brentford. Attacking position on the left, Michael Brown.
Keith Andrews will be absolutely delighted with his players, because not only are they putting it into key areas, the distances. We've just seen that wide free kick drop right in front of Donnarumma. It was a tough one because he's waiting to see if there's any contact, and he maybe needs to deal with it a little bit earlier. But here it is, something we discussed last night also, the long throw.
Yeah, these are lethal.
And different pitches, how far it goes, which one does he use, because he's got a few.
Yeah, different trajectories. Let's see if Coyote goes with the driver here. Yeah, it's the low, flat one into the penalty area. Reinders volleys it away. Jensen hits the shot first time, nodded down, only as far as Lewis Potter for Brentford. Forward to Sade, he's in an offside position, the flag goes up. Free kick for Manchester City. So what did Keith Andrews say about that last night?
Well,
then?
about that throw there, that was like the long short throw, wasn't it? What happened to it? He's trying to give it, he's trying to fizz it. And I think we only had him for like 5-10 minutes. We weren't really going to discuss the long throw. I think we'd done that a little bit earlier, haven't we?
Yeah, here's Semenyo. Semenyo's got 2 men with him. Got the pace here to try and take it past Lewis Potter. Does a great job. Gets that for Brentford. Damsgaard's giving it away, though. Here's Bernardo Silva jinking forward, the little Portuguese. Lays it off to his international teammate, Matheus Núñez. Semenyo passes to his left to Reinders. This is about 15 yards outside the Brentford penalty area. Guardiola watches intently, arms crossed, his team trying to stay in this title race, having won 6 of the last 8 Premier League titles. Doku on the outside, takes on Coyote, gets the cross in, no one at the far post for Manchester City because Semenyo had drifted more into the middle there. Reinders is first to the ball wide on the right, passes back here to Núñez. Núñez across to Gahey, nearly had the ref in his way there. Gahey side foots it calmly, back to the right to Reinders, back to Núñez, patient from City. Shirky surrounded by red and white striped shirts, but just jinks his way out of trouble. Then points as he passes to Gahey to say, move that on quickly to Ake and wide to Doku. Another dangerous dribbler for Manchester City. Coyote really focusing on that ball, trying not to be bamboozled. Cut back from Doku, cleared away by Jensen, out for the throw into Manchester City. 0-0.
Do you know what? He squares you up. If you haven't got help, you're in all sorts of trouble. So they've left him and sort of gone, right, 1v1. We think he's all right with it. But that's 3 times now. The next one's going to be really, really important. The ball gets pulled back. Good position. You're just waiting for those runners. Nico O'Reilly will surprise you again in a second with that inside run, just as you're not expecting.
Exactly like that. Doku's found him, cross comes in, cleared by Aya, only as far as Bernardo Silva outside of the left foot, kills it wide. And behind for the goal kick. Manchester City 0, Brentford 0. Earlier on today in the Premier League, lunchtime kick-off, Liverpool 1, Chelsea 1. Big wins for Brighton and Bournemouth in the chase for European football next season. Brighton were 2 up within 5 minutes. They beat Wolves 3-0. Fulham, Bournemouth, 2 players sent off, 1 from each team, closing stages of the first half, but a Ryan goal won it for Bournemouth, so they're 6th in the Premier League. Gahey's under pressure from Igor Thiago here, but manages to get the ball away, and it finished Sunderland 0, Manchester United 0. And Motherwell Hearts is a massive game in the Scottish Premiership tonight. It kicks off at 8 o'clock, so updates on that into 6:06, into 5 Live's coverage this evening. And as I said, the big fight here in Manchester, full commentary from 10. Fabio Wardley against Daniel Dubois, the undercard from 7 o'clock. Good undercard as well for the fight tonight from 7 o'clock on Sports Extra. Doku, edge of the box, looking for Harland, heads it wide. First time I've said his name, he nearly scores.
That was right on cue. And this is the point, isn't it? Jeremy Doku 3 times drive the line, next one go right. I can come inside now, I can cross it. And Harland comes, waits just outside of the 6-yard area, central. He catches it a little bit fat, a little bit flat, and he just doesn't direct it. Sort of pushes them lips out and realises that's a big chance for him.
Sharda jumps, heads it infield to Thiago, battles with Gahey. Núñez keeps it in, bobbles it down the line towards Semenyo. Gets a very hearty pat on the back from Pep Guardiola for the effort at keeping the ball in play, but it's gone out for a Brentford throw. That's one where it sort of stings. You've got a sort of hand mark on your back after someone whacks you like that.
I think it's like, come on, you're going to have to get into this game shortly. We've not heard from Antoine Semenyo also, have we?
No.
In the build-up, Ryan Cherky, these are the City players who can cause problems, but full credit to Brentford. They've looked comfortable, they've looked organised, the shape.
Manchester City unbeaten in their last 6 games against Brentford, 5 wins and a draw. I do remember them doing the double over Manchester City in 22-23 season. Cherky looking to feed one through to O'Reilly. He is down on the floor, appeals to the referee for a free kick, running shoulder to shoulder with Yarmolyuk, I think. No free kick given, so that goes behind for the goal kick. Yeah, Ivan Toney scored a couple of goals here in the Brentford win. Manchester City went on to win the league, and then Brentford beat them last day of the season, but the league was already won by then, and Manchester City also went on to win the FA Cup and the Champions League that season, and Brentford did the double over them in the Premier League. Thiago flicks it on, good ball, danger here. Sharda is onto it, needs a good first touch. Núñez stumbles into him, sort of falls to the floor, his hands touch Sharda. Sharda goes down off balance. He's still down on the floor inside the penalty area. Now a free kick is given against Semenyo for a challenge on Lewis Potter. And I'm sure back at Stockley Park they're having another look at the images of Sharda and Mateus Núñez as Sharda raced through into that Manchester City penalty area. Michael Brown.
Thiago does so well, he just loops it over, Sharda just pushes it. And then there was a push from Núñez. Was he already falling down? We're just going to try and get another look here, but it's a strange one. He goes across him. Does he catch him? How did they see it? He's trying to get a better. Núñez misses the ball, but then he comes in contact with his back foot.
Yeah.
So, is it just outside the box as well on that contact? They're not going to even really carry on with this. They say
no.
I think there's something. Because he does affect the line of the run, even though he doesn't mean it, because he misses the ball.
Yeah, Brentford players definitely thought there was something in that, but the communication has been quick. James Bell, the video assistant referee, and his team have decided not a penalty, but also it wouldn't have mattered the foul. He was the last man, of course. Could have been a denial of a goal-scoring opportunity. But Michael Salisbury happy on the field with what happened. Happy also at Stockley Park, still 0-0. Midway through the first half, here's Nico O'Reilly. bringing the ball forward into the Brentford half, plays it out to Doku. Doku brings it infield, sees Reinders, edge of the area, low left-footed shot, blocked, spins away and goes behind for a Manchester City corner as they just try and build some pressure, build up a head of steam. I saw Erling Harland a couple of minutes ago sort of trying to cajole his teammates, get a little bit more out of them. They're taking the corner quickly. Here's Doku. Doku with his right foot passes it back to Shirky. Shirky across to Reinders, central position, 25 yards out. Goes for the screamer off target, high and wide, and behind for another goal kick, and Kelleher relieved not to be called into action there.
Yeah, Reinders just getting out of his feet, tries to be positive. He's got into some good areas actually so far in his Manchester City career. We haven't seen that much of him. He would have liked to have certainly played more games, but he can run, he can get into different positions. They're just taking the time, trying to frustrate everybody.
Yeah, Manchester City fans getting wound up. It looked as though they were going to take the goal kick short, and then Nathan Collins eventually jogged away and left it to Kelleher to fire it downfield. Here's Doku in the centre circle, lays it back to O'Reilly. O'Reilly didn't see an option forward, turns and plays a short pass back to Ake. Ake gives it to Bernardo Silva, who comes gently jogging forward, ball at his feet. Cross to Ake on the left. Then Shirky does the same, just walking pace from Manchester City, slowing it down, trying to lull Brentford into that false sense of security, thinking they've got it all covered, and then someone like this man, Doku, suddenly beats a man and things open up. But he's a long way from goal here. He's midway inside the Brentford half, wide on the left. Takes Coyote on for pace on the outside, then stops in his tracks. Plays it to Shirky. Shirky turns away from goal. Passes back to Gehi. Gehi is a good 40 yards from goal in a central position. Ake to his left. On it goes to Doku again. So here comes the next one-on-one battle. Coyote gets a foot in this time, but Doku is able to go and retrieve the ball and keep it in play. And in terms of the sort of head-to-head score, Doku is well ahead in the battle against Coyote, but the key fact being it's not led.
He's winning on points.
So, well, there we go. Head of the big boxing tonight. Not led to a goal as yet. Here's Semenyo on the right. Gets his cross in. Harland's headed down. Soft one into the ground. Kelleher saves.
There's the combination. Antoine Semenyo this time comes to play down that right-hand side. Delivers a good ball in. Harland just no pace left on it. Heads down. Comfortable for the goalkeeper.
Manchester City drop points in this game. If they do not win this match, then Arsenal will know that 2 wins from their last 3 games, away to West Ham, at home to Burnley, away to Crystal Palace on the final day of the season, a few days before Crystal Palace playing that UEFA Conference League final. 2 wins from those 3, if City drop points tonight, will give them their first title in over 20 years. Semenyo on the turn, whacks a ball into the body of one of the Brentford players. It actually comes back to Semenyo from the Hickey header, looking for a 1-2 with Mateus Nunes, working the ball in a tight space there on the right. Good football from Manchester City. Gets Ake out. Ake immediately, low pass, curling into the path of Doku. Quickly on to O'Reilly. Chases hard to keep it in play, looks for the cutback, blocked at the near post. Shirky is there to get onto the loose ball. Followed by Jensen, finds Doku, corner of the penalty area on the left. Here's Reinders. Reinders across to Mateus Nunes, gets away from one man. He's looking for a winger out there to pass to. There's no one there because everyone's in the penalty area. Has to turn and come back to Gehi. 20 minutes left in the first half. 5 Live and BBC Sounds live at the Etihad Stadium. Manchester City 0, Brentford 0. Must win for Manchester City if they harbour realistic hopes of stopping Arsenal winning the title. Doku on the turn. 2 Brentford defenders breathing down his neck. Tries to wriggle away from Coyote again. Ends up on the floor. And the referee decides no free kick but corner for Manchester City. Coyote's got his hands full. That is an understatement. Yeah, they've taken it short. Doku got that from Bernardo Silva. Again, this time takes on Jensen, beats Jensen inside the penalty area. Layback, Harland shot, blocked by Kelleher. Loose in the 6-yard box, and Kelleher is able to grab it at the second time of asking.
What play, Jeremy Doku. What a start to the game he's having. Every time he gets it, he just goes, right, I fancy it. He pushes line, such pace. He shrugs off the defenders, pulls it back. Erling Harland coming strong, left-footed, goalkeeper just gets something on it, then gets a second bite at it as Ake almost pokes it underneath him.
If you enjoy watching tricky wingers, Jeremy Doku's definitely one for you. Match of the day, BBC One 10:20, available on the iPlayer as well. Here's Reinders. Reinders' little body swerve in the middle of the pitch. Still on the ball inside the centre circle, crosses the halfway line, bounces a pass out to Semenyo. Semenyo starts to pick up speed now, and Lewis Potter just jockeys for position. Semenyo trying to take him on the outside. Did the cross take a deflection there?
Yes, it did.
Yes, it did. Corner.
Yeah, it did. Good defending. Lewis Potter coming across. It's one of those, isn't it? A fullback when you're on your own, and these two wide players can go either side. Oh, it's tough. The pressure's getting a little bit stronger. They're just around the goalkeeper, aren't they? Just looking now. Nico O'Reilly, Erling Harland. You see Mark Gay, back post. Doku just ringing that box towards the edge.
Corner for Manchester City will come in from the right via the left foot of Bernardo Silva, deep to the far post. Ake heads it straight up in the air. Schade gets a toe on it. Damsgaard tries to dribble away, tackled by Shirky. Shirky's pass to the right. Things could open up for Manchester City here. Bernardo Silva onto the left foot, dummies the shot, then hits the shot and slices it a long way off target and into those Brentford fans behind the goal away to our right. Wry smile from Pep Guardiola, because down the years he's certainly seen Bernardo Silva whip those into the back of the net.
Do you know what? If you were describing Bernardo Silva coming across the pitch, Semenyo's a little foil for him. He goes, right, I'll take another touch. I don't think we've ever seen him do that, have we? It was a little bit closer normally. Here we go.
Oh, crikey, taking risks inside the penalty area, and Brentford have got away with it. Good dribbling in the end from Ayer. Well, they got away with it for a second. Now they've given it away to O'Reilly. Here's Doku, edge of the box again. Finds Shirky. Shirky's closed down quickly. The ball comes back to Bernardo Silva. Across to Reinders. Manchester City looking to break the deadlock here in the first half. Chasing Arsenal at the top of the table. Silva lays it back to Shirky. Brilliant flick. Finds Reinders. Cross comes in. Semenyo was up in the air, but it was flicked away from him by Nathan Collins before he could get a head on it, and it goes out for another throw-in to Manchester City. Half an hour played, still 0-0.
Ryan Shirky, a special little drag and flick with his back heel into a wider area. He's such a showman. He's been absolutely fantastic in recent weeks. Get him on the ball, get him going. But do you know what? Brentford in and around him, they've got their positions correct, the midfield area. And like I said to you, bringing Aaron Hickey, he's just had that defensive knowledge of just saying, right, I'm going to follow runners, I'm dynamic enough. It might not be a natural midfield role. He's just got to pick up pieces and get close to people.
Bournemouth sitting 6th in the Premier League after their 3-0 win over Wolves. They are 4 points ahead of Brentford. Brentford here playing the game in hand. Throw in back to Ake for Manchester City inside his own half. League Cup already in the bag for Manchester City. This time next week will be at Wembley on 5 Live for the FA Cup final. And still harbouring dreams of hauling Arsenal in to win the league title, but need to win this game. Can't break Brentford down at the moment. Throw in on the left from O'Reilly. Comes back to Bernardo Silva. Silva assessing his options on the move, head up all the time, scanning left and right. Lays it off to Doku. Doku looking in the eyes of Coyote. Passes here to Bernardo Silva, inside left channel. Shirky just runs behind him to offer himself. Here is Shirky on the ball, clips it with his right foot forward. Kelleher comes, leaps in the air and catches it in both hands, and I think might have caught one of his teammates as he jumped, so we're going to get a stoppage in play. Manchester City 0, Brentford 0.
Yeah, it was always running away, but Lewis Potter gets caught towards his head. He stayed down, and there'll be question marks asked, won't they? Is it one of those moments where they sort of say, can we stay? Is there any contact? But I tell you, that knee gets him right in the side of the sort of temple area.
Yeah.
And he's done well, hasn't he? Do you know, actually to be looking up, we're going, right, that hurt, but I'm fine.
Yeah, no, that was Kelleher leaping, glancing blow with the knee, but smack in the middle of Lewis Potter's forehead. So quite right, they're going to take time to check he's okay. Keith Andrews having a word here with Damsgaard and Matthias Jensen. Pep Guardiola doing that in a more animated fashion, because he's got hold of Tijani Reinders' right bicep there. Now he's calling Semenyo over, and he's shoving his arms right and left and explaining what he wants from Antoine Semenyo. More reaction to all the day's sport at half-time with Mark Chapman. Lines will then open for 6:06. Natalie Pike and Clinton Morrison taking the calls this evening. And as I say, that boxing undercard here in Manchester from 7 o'clock on Sports Extra. I mean, did you get an idea, Wardley Dubois,
who's going to
win this fight?
Honestly, none of them. They're all sitting on the fence. This is my former physio, Wayne Gill, who's with Keith Andrews in Brentford.
Yeah.
So I had him at Portsmouth, and he's gone on to Fulham. Safe hands. I gave him a bit of stick actually last night. I seen him in the hotel. I gone, Keith, what are you doing with him here? So, but the jokes aside, you know, when things happen like this, it's good to see, innit, that good people who are there understand the game. He's right on top of it.
King Lewis Potter's become a really important player for Brentford as well in recent weeks. Rico Henry out injured. This is 7th consecutive Premier League start. He's been involved now in 34 of the 36 Premier League games. This a 20th start of the season in the league as Doku's back on the ball, deep for Manchester City. Shirky leaps over it, which looked clever, but Hickey read it and got there ahead of Semenyo. Now Nathan Collins under a bit of pressure, passes across to Aya. Aya goes to his right to Coyote inside the Brentford half. Manchester City 0, Brentford 0. 11 minutes remaining in the first half as Collins again fires it low across his own penalty area. Aya flicks it to his right to Coyote. The light blue shirts close in. Coyote's pass forward goes astray. Reinders intercepts, finds Doku. Now Doku loves these spaces. Across to Shirky, edge of the penalty area. Step over shot, good block on the edge of the box by Hickey. Doing his job. Silva gets it back to Nunes, quickly goes wide to Semenyo. Semenyo back to Shirky. Shirky this time onto the left foot, gliding across the face of that Brentford penalty area. Back to Ake. Now Reinders is going to line one up. That's blocked on the edge of the box. Manchester City recycle and go again. Pressure relentless, still 0-0. Here's Doku. Doku with the ball, mesmerically tied, it seems, to that right boot. Just crept his way into the penalty area, wide on the left, shimmies as if to go, lays it off to Shirky. Shirky's doing the same thing, drags the ball just out of the penalty area now, and Ake goes to Doku. Got to be switched on these Brentford defenders. Ake run on the outside. Was the pass just beyond the dead ball line? No, he kept it in. Cross into the near post, knocked behind. Another Manchester City corner.
Yeah, good play again. Ryan Cherky's looking for runners. There's not much space for him. And Ethan Ake does very well on the byline.
Any corner from the left is taken quickly. Short to Doku. Chips it here to Bernardo Silva. Jensen did really well there. Saw it was going to take a second for Silva to bring the ball down. Got his body in the way, and suddenly there's a bit of push and shove, and argy-bargy down by the dead ball line. That was Nathan Collins standing over Bernardo Silva, who doesn't mind getting involved in some of this stuff, and didn't like. He thinks that Collins sort of deliberately trod on him, and he's just admonished him with a wagging finger.
Bernardo's not going to win this one. Christian Aya and Nathan Collins are like, oh, Bernardo, that ref cam's just come in on our monitor. Give us a closer look at it. I like that. I don't mind a little bit, a bit of a close-up yellow card for Bernardo.
Well, Bernardo Silva's got booked. I would describe him now, this is his 9th season at Manchester City, and last. He's a wily campaigner, isn't he? He's now 8th on the all-time appearance list for Manchester City. And I think his role has changed down the years. He's almost a little bit of an enforcer at times, you know, which, given his sort of comparatively sort of diminutive build, and that's what the yellow card's for. He's thrown a right arm out and he's hit Collins on the back of his calf, hasn't he?
While he's lying on the floor, he thinks because Collins has used his strength to push him down, he's maybe slung an arm, and he hasn't when it looks into the replay, so maybe he's got that one wrong. But he just strikes him, the referee, right on top of it, and it's into his calf, and you've got to be careful when you do that sort of thing. Yellow card given that.
Michael Brown with us on 5 Live and BBC Sounds. Manchester City 0, Brentford 0. I'm sure plenty of Arsenal fans listening, cheering on Brentford in this one. Mateus Nunes out to Semenyo on the right. Lewis Potter points to Damsgaard where he thinks the ball is going to go. Semenyo feeds Nunes, cross into the penalty area, blocked. Thiago's back there, couldn't get it away. Here's Doku. Thiago moves in with the challenge, and he's given the free kick away, and this could be dangerous for Brentford. Just put his foot in and immediately sort of protested his innocence, which makes you think it probably was a foul. And the free kick, I would say, is 3-4 yards outside the penalty area in a central position. Michael Brown's looking at the replay.
Yeah, catching him, doesn't he? Jeremy Doku just steps across, and he sort of just steps in to get closer, but Doku's right leg comes over, and it's right on the angle, he studs, but I don't think he actually is one of those where he's tried to catch him, tried to make a foul, but unfortunately he has done that. The official's on top of it saying, right, here we go, but it's an interesting position, left to centre, isn't it?
Options.
Gives you lots of the goal to go at.
Kelleher is leaning back on his right-hand post, getting the wall in position.
It's a big wall as well, Ali, isn't it?
Yeah, tall wall, isn't it? Big men all standing there. One of the players lying down in the draft excluder position behind the black stockinged legs, and you've got Shirky standing over it. Reinders is there, Semenyo is there. I think Shirky would be favourite for me. Bit of a magician, but let's see. Takes a couple of deliberate steps back. Kelleher looks confident, composed on the goal line. Shirky's just staring at the ball. Referee just trying to move a couple of...
trying to get a block on, so
yeah.
you're just trying to move the wall.
He's just got O'Reilly forward a couple of yards. Here comes Shirky with his right foot into that wall. Ball is loose inside the box. It spins out to Doku. Doku works it onto his right foot, looking for a shot here, leans back over the bar, it goes, another deflection, another corner for Manchester City.
As Erling Haaland's gone to go towards the rebound of the goalkeeper, it's hit him plumb actually, he was the one that diverted it wide.
Corner taken short again to Semenyo, with the ball, moving across the face of the Brentford penalty area, back to Shirky. Brentford are out quickly to try and shut this down. Nunes passes to his right, Bernardo Silva's 35 yards from goal, wide on the right-hand side. Ball on his left foot. Switch pass here to Semenyo on his outside. Semenyo, a little bit of dribbling, left the ball behind, goes back to collect it, suddenly under pressure, two defenders with him. Collins makes the challenge and claps loudly at his own efforts and the backup he got from Matthias Jensen. Throw in to Bernardo Silva. Thiago moves in, tackles him, forward to Damsgaard. Risky flickers, giving the ball away. Chipped into the path of Semenyo. Covered here by Collins, who goes down inside the box. The ball goes behind. That'll be a goal kick to Brentford. Manchester City 0, Brentford 0, and there's only 5 minutes left in the first half now.
Yeah, and that's exactly Keith Andrews and this Brentford side will be looking, going, right, game management now. I understand City will keep coming. Can we get in? Can we go and regroup? Can we have a little look? But just seeing the work, it's not all just the midfielders. You can see Thiago obviously being known for his goals, but he's jumped back in and just nicking it off the shoulders, whether it be Bernardo Silva, Reinders, really good play.
O'Reilly nods the ball down to himself here inside the Brentford half. Silva's there quickly in support, onto Doku. Doku's got a bit of space to work with. Coyote comes across to shut it down. Doku with pace on the outside, cut back into the near post again. Brentford get the bodies in the way, and it's cleared out for a throw. I've seen that happen 4, 5, 6 times in this first half, and so far Brentford have been in the right position at the right time to get the bodies in the way, and Manchester City now trying to work something from the throw. Have knocked the ball out of play, but is that Bernardo Silva down on his back on the far side of the field to us, who might have been caught in the challenge. So Doku is beating Coyote, but Brentford obviously have the plan that when he gets into those attacking positions, he's not been able to find the crucial pass to pick out his man. Probably the best was the cross to Harland for the header that he guided wide of the target.
No movement whatsoever from Manchester City's bench. You know, when someone goes down, you just go, right, do they have like a little code so you know, well, off you go? This is the danger ball. Yeah, Jensen's ball over the top. Gay's got it covered. Thiago chases. Gay heads it to his left. Thiago gives him a nudge. Assistant referee spotted that. Free kick. Thiago livid with that decision. Telling the assistant referee it's a contact game. Still not having it. Turns over his shoulder. Launches another volley of abuse towards him. Here's Shirky. Shirky at full speed down the right. Sliding challenge by Damsgaard. Gets a toe on the ball. It goes out for a throw-in to Manchester City, who need to win this game. Starting at 5 points behind Arsenal, the Premier League leaders. Arsenal featuring our commentary at West Ham tomorrow evening. West Ham starting the game in the bottom 3, 1 point behind Spurs, who host Leeds on Monday night. Doku on the dribble again down the left. Yarmolyuk this time helps out Coyote. The ball falls to Coyote. This time it's his turn to dribble and turn away from Doku. Takes on O'Reilly, tackled inside the box. Jensen steps in, saves the day, clears it away. Ake cleverly just flicks it back to Gahey, and Manchester City can start to build inside their own half again. Gahey to Ake. Ake just over the halfway line. O'Reilly asks for it right next to him.
Come on, City. The cry goes up again late in the
It's
first
just a
half.
narrow four now in front, isn't it? Sade and Thiago have just sort of gone right. Two as a narrow strikers, and then that four. It's so hard to play in. Where do you go? Because City will have like a little diamond, they'll have options. O'Reilly come in. It's such a difficult system against City to deploy, and you've got to get spot on, and they've done it so far so well. They're just, which one do you go with? That's the issue when you're in those areas. Damsgaard has done so well on the left.
Ball comes to the right to Mateus Nunes, spins away from Damsgaard, slides the pass through, picked up by Reinders. Reinders in the inside right channel, Brentford defenders backing off, still Reinders hits the shot, blocked by Ayer, comes straight back to Semenyo inside the area, his shot is blocked as well, thought that was going to run to Shirky, Jensen was there, pushes it to his left, Lewis Potter under pressure, deep in his own half, right down by the dead ball line, and Semenyo's just a little over-eager there, pushes him in the back, and Lewis Potter didn't need a second invitation. Down he goes, free kick for Brentford.
Do you see how good he was there? Do you know, that's a player playing with confidence and a belief in your own ability. The physical match of Semenyo behind you. So, right, how are you going to get out of that situation? You're sort of against the line, you know you're under pressure, you go inside, you're towards your goal. There's not much to the outside, you've got to be clever, you've got to draw foul. He does very, very well, very comfortable, and then he got exactly what I needed, a little bit of contact.
Last minute of the first half, Manchester City 0, Brentford 0. Gahey wins a header, nodded forward by Jensen, volleyed back by Reinders. Shirky miscues, bouncing ball, slices it and chipped forward into the Manchester City half. Donnarumma gives it a shout, side foots a pass away. Hearts in mouths there from the Manchester City fans around us. Weren't quite sure what he was going to do. It's worked out okay. Here's Shirky. Shirky turns, he was setting off there, and Doku's frustrated because he felt he was free on the left. They've gone right, Manchester City. Fourth official there, Robert Jones, waiting to put the board up and tell us how much added time we've got at the end of the first half. There's not been too much threat from Brentford, all Manchester City, but it's still 0-0. Silva's floated pass to the left, chested down by Doku, running at Coyote, on the outside he goes, gets that cross in. Damsgaard looked to get a touch, it's cleared away only as far as Nunes. Nunes on the right, another cross comes in. Jensen side foots it to Lewis Potter, 2 minutes of added time at the end of the first half. Nunes on Damsgaard, got the ball with his foot but pushed his man. Brentford want to go quickly, the ref's not going to let them do that. 2 minutes of added time begin, no one is happy really with what's gone on there, and it's still 0-0.
I'll tell you what I spotted, right? When it didn't go his way, right, Pep Guardiola turned around from the front of his technical area, walked like Liam Gallagher towards Rob Jones with that sort of swagger, as if to say, really, is it a foul? When I see it, Nunes wraps his leg around Damsgaard and there's a bit of contact, to be fair, but I think we can clip that up. We'll have to find that.
Lines
Pep
open
into Liam Gallagher.
Lines open for 6:06 shortly. 08085 909 693. That'll follow this commentary. And in the box, in the big fight from 10 on 5 Live tonight, Fabio Wardley against Daniel Dubois. The undercard from 7 o'clock on Sports Extra as Kelleher takes the free kick for Brentford, headed away by Gahey, down the right-hand touchline, knocked out of play for the Manchester City throw. Important game in the title race for Manchester City, need to win it to get within 2 points of Arsenal, put the pressure on, ahead of that game away at West Ham tomorrow, and 45 minutes of the game have nearly gone by. Ake's touch inside his own half, had to be careful with that. Got it to Bernardo Silva. Donnarumma points to his left and right there, wants options, chips it out cleverly into the feet of O'Reilly. Doku nearly got away down the left there. Important tackle from Yarmolyuk, throw in for Manchester City. 20 seconds left in the first half. Here's Shirky, 45 yards from goal, moves it forward. Hickey's watching the ball like a hawk there. Passes here to O'Reilly, tall figure of Nico O'Reilly, who surely is going to feature for England at the World Cup this summer. O'Reilly passes to his left to Ake. Last attack of the first half. Shirky on the move into the penalty area, trying to beat 3 or 4 men. Couldn't quite smuggle his way through. Half-time whistle blows. Bit of frustration in the stands around us, whether that's at some of the decisions, whether that's at Manchester City's inability to break Brentford down, whether that's how important they realise it is for Manchester City, given that they have to win this game with Arsenal sitting on top of the Premier League table. What have you made of it, Michael Brown?
Well, when you look, Manchester City obviously had the control, they've moved Brentford around, but what a determined display from this Brentford side. obviously deploying a possible right back, left back, depending on how he was going to play into midfield, saying, right, you've got to try and jump on Bernardo, and then his role changed, and they've tried to progress, they've tried to counter-attack. Jeremy Doku's been excellent down that left-hand side, but leaving the pitch now a very frustrated skipper, Bernardo Silva, as Manchester City couldn't find the breakthrough.
Brentford definitely the happier at half-time. I would suggest Arsenal fans enjoying it at the moment. Still a half of football to go. Brown and Bruce Ball out for now. Half-time, Manchester City 0, Brentford 0.
Bruce Ball and Brown.
Yeah, that's better actually. Yeah,
Come
you're
on.
right.
Thank you.
Sorry, thank you.
Second half on the way. Then earlier in the Premier League, Liverpool and Chelsea drew 1-1. Sunderland and Manchester United ended goalless. Brighton and Bournemouth continue their push for European places. Brighton beat Wolves 3-0. Bournemouth won 1-0 at Fulham. Both sides reduced to 10 in that game. See it all. Match of the day 10:20 on BBC One. Wayne Rooney and Ashley Williams alongside Gabby for that. Another goalless draw in the Championship playoffs. Middlesbrough and Southampton at the Riverside. Stockport got a late winner at Stevenage in the first leg of their League One playoff semi-final. In the National League North playoff final, Kidderminster beat South Shields. And in the South, Hornchurch beat Torquay 3-2. They were 2-1 down, Hornchurch, going into second half stoppage time. Then they equalised 3 minutes from the end of extra time. They got the winner. So Hornchurch and Kidderminster will be in the National League next season. Arsenal's women beat Aston Villa 3-0 in the WSL. 2 goals for Alessia Russo, and they're guaranteed Champions League football next season. In the Scottish Premiership, in the top half, Hibs beat Falkirk. Aberdeen and Dundee won in the bottom half. The big story in the bottom half, Kilmarnock beating St Mirren 3-0. So St Mirren now 4 points from safety in the relegation playoff position. They'd have to win their final 2 and hope Kilmarnock don't pick up any points there for them to be safe. The Championship relegation the Championship... Championship relegation in Scotland. That final will be between Alloa and Stenhousemuir. In League One, it will be between Hamilton and Clyde. And League Two playoff, Brora Rangers and Edinburgh drew 1-1. That's all the football. Leicester beat Northampton in the Gallagher Prem. Currently at half-time, heck of a game at Bristol. Saracens lead them by 34 points to 21. Bulls and Sharks won in the United Rugby Championship. As they approach half-time, Leinster lead Lions 14-7. Ospreys are 17-5 up on Scarlets. England and France have both won in the Women's Six Nations. Ireland-Wales gets underway in 10 minutes. And Wigan's men and women are both through to the Challenge Cup finals. We'll bring you some reaction to the day's sport after Lisa McCormick in the news.
The voice of the UK.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Thanks, chappers. The Labour MP Catherine West has told the BBC that if a cabinet member doesn't put themselves forward to take over from Sir Keir Starmer as Labour leader by Monday, then she will try to trigger a leadership contest herself.
We need to get this ball rolling. But my preferred option is for the Cabinet to do a reshuffle within itself and for Keir to be given a different role, which he might enjoy, perhaps an international role, and then for others to come to the fore who can communicate the message.
It follows big losses for Labour in England's local elections and the first time the party's lost the Welsh Senedd elections since the devolved institution's creation in 1999. Earlier, Sir Keir Starmer admitted the government had made unnecessary mistakes but insisted he would be staying on as Prime Minister. This afternoon, Labour's lost 2 more English councils. Bradford and London Borough of Lambeth have both fallen into no control. Reform UK is Bradford's biggest party, while the Greens are the largest in Lambeth. In Wales, Labour's appointed new interim leader after former First Minister Eleanor Morgan lost her seat. Senedd member Ken Skates will take on the role. And in Scotland, the SNP leader John Swinney says he'll be holding talks with other party leaders except Reform UK after his party won the most seats at Holyrood, but they failed to take an outright majority. Away from politics this evening, British passengers on board a cruise ship with an outbreak of hantavirus will be flown to Arrow Park Hospital in Merseyside for isolation. That's the same location that was used at the start of the COVID outbreak. The MV Hondius is expected to dock in Tenerife tomorrow, where passengers will be tested by health officials. And the Russian President Vladimir Putin has used a speech at an annual military parade in Moscow to criticise NATO and describe Russia's invasion of Ukraine as just. The scaled-back event went ahead after a 3-day ceasefire came into effect. 5 Live Sports.
So here's the first ball of this series. All the cricket you love.
lives on BBC Sounds.
Smash straight back down the ground, this girl.
Hear ball-by-ball coverage of the biggest competitions on the domestic and international circuits.
It's a fourth wicket and it's the huge one.
Settle down, Duffer. Sorry, mate. Cricket on 5 Live Sport.
Oh, I'm living every ball of this.
Listen on BBC Sounds.
This is 5 Live Sports with Mark Chapman.
Listen on BBC Sounds.
Let's bring you some reaction to the afternoon's Premier League football, with Bournemouth and Brighton continuing their chase for European football. We'll start with Bournemouth. They beat Fulham 1-0 at Craven Cottage. Both sides had a man sent off in the first half. Ryan Christie went for Bournemouth first of all, Joachim Andersen then for Fulham. Ryan got the decisive goal in the second half. Here's Andoni Iraola with Aaron Paul.
Yes, then against that, there are spaces everywhere. No, you cannot cover everything, and sometimes it's about just the players. No, one against one situations, probably against 11, Ryan doesn't find the space to position, take the shot with his left foot. And we have now with Ryan, with Junior Kropi, also hit the crossbar with tough players that can shoot from the outside, and it was a lovely moment to score, yes.
You know you're not going to be here next season, but this group, the individuals, the characters, how special would it be for them to play European football and potentially top-tier European football in the Champions League?
I think would be a big step for the club, no? First time in our history, but the problem is we are still not there. You know, it's like we want to get something. We want to get this conference. If it's Europa League, but we want to touch, no, something and finish the season, no, after an incredible run of games. I think it's 16 games unbeaten is something that I think this group of players deserves. But it's not just about deserving, no, it's just you have to go there and find points somewhere else.
So Bournemouth are 6th. They've got 55 points. They're 3 points off Aston Villa, who are in 5th. Villa have a game in hand, couple of points ahead of Brighton, who are on 53. Fulham, meanwhile, stay in 11th. Here's Marco Silva.
Just on the red card for Joachim Andersen, whether it is, whether it isn't, it's a lack of discipline from a senior player, isn't it?
I don't want to go in that direction. It was a weird moment from us. I am not saying I'm not going to go in direction from who. It's a weird moment from us. We have to be much more careful.
Just in terms of you, your future, this football club, you've had so much success here. You've played some beautiful football. You've achieved a lot. If it is to be coming to an end, is it frustrating because of how things have panned out with regards to European qualification?
You know, I'm very ambitious. I'm very realistic. I love this football club, and of course, all the analysis that we have to do, we are going to do calm, looking for everything that was our season, and after to take the conclusions.
Marco Silva there with Aaron Paul. So Brighton then 7th. Jack Hinshelwood got the fastest ever Premier League goal for them after just 35 seconds. They beat Wolves 3-0. Here's Fabian Herzler.
Really happy, of course, but on the other side I was really proud of the team, and I think we have strong togetherness. We showed it today as well. We defended well as a team, we played intense as a team. We had a great start in the game, then we scored 2 goals, definitely helped. Second half I think we got a little bit sloppy with our defensive work, with how intense we played and the quality in our actions, but we kept going, we kept trying, we scored another goal, so overall a deserved win.
What did you say before the game? Because they came absolutely flying out of the traps, didn't they?
Yeah, sometimes it works, sometimes not, so you always want to start like this. We wanted to do the things better than we did against Newcastle, so be more ruthless, be better in the small margins, defend better as a team, reduce the mistakes, and I think we did this. We always want to be intense and be powerful and very energetic for our fans, for our supporters, because from the first second we wanted they get behind us, and I think there was a really good start, and through the game I felt that we kept this intensity, especially in the first half, and regarding the end, like I said, a little bit sloppy, but overall a good performance.
And we'll go from Fabian Herzler with John Southall to Régis Lebris with Gary Flintoff after Sunderland's 0-0 draw with Manchester United.
Régis, your side played well today. Is there disappointment that you didn't win the game?
Yeah, because we created 3 or 4 good chances, and if you play against Manchester United, third in the Premier League at the minute, and you don't score when you have those chances, it's hard to win the game.
Your captain said to me that you have to remember where you've come from, but clearly, had you taken a few more chances this season, you'd be even higher up the table.
Yes. So last game at home, it was really hard. After that, we went at Wolves. I think the standards were good again. And today we showed one of the best versions of Sunderland this season with consistency, which I think is really important. Hard to beat, and I think with the ball we are good also, with a good midfielders, the ability to control the game at times and to create chances. So now we can't expect to have 6 or 7 chances to score, and the last point is to be clinical.
If you want to have your say on 606, it follows the second half of Manchester City Brentford 08085 909 693. To Rugby Union's Prem, Northampton stay top of the table despite a thrashing at Leicester. Finished 41-17 to the home side. Their head coach Jeff Parling spoke to Chris Jones.
Right, Jeff Parling. Wow, look at this place. What a performance. That maybe exceeded even your highest hopes for this game.
Look, thought emotionally, right bit of edge. Obviously, lots of cards in the game, but we stood up for each other. Thought we were physical. I'm really pleased with the outcome.
You mentioned edge. It felt like your team were playing with a real bite. Was that something that was brewing all week?
Yeah, we actually haven't. It wasn't an emotional week. We were very calm because I think, you're playing in a derby, the lads will bring that anyway. So actually we were very tactical during the week and very calm in what we did. So look, I just thought they led it well themselves. At half-time they're great. Really pleased.
It's hard to pick out a big area from your game because they were all so good. Physical, confrontational, but clever as well with your execution tries, like the Radwan try from the Jack Van Porthley kick. You kind of put in an all-round performance that must really please you as the boss.
Yep, and there's still lots of things we could do better as well. Look, so we'll please, but look, we'll review like we normally do and push back onto sale next week.
Jeff Parling with Chris Jones. Let's go to the Italian Open next. Russell Fuller.
World number 82 Sebastian Offner trying to make himself unpopular by ending Yannick Sinner's unbeaten run of 23 matches. Unlikely though, Sinner already 4-1 up, having converted a 4th break point courtesy of an Offner double fault. It's set number 1 of this second round match.
Thank you, Russell. Let's turn our attentions to the boxing tonight. Commentary from around 10 o'clock here on 5 Live for the world title fight, the all-British heavyweight world title fight between Fabio Wardley and Daniel Dubois. Let's talk to part of our commentary team. Richie Woodall is with us. Afternoon, evening, how are you?
Afternoon, chappers. Yeah, very good indeed. Really looking forward to a great fight, to be quite honest.
Are you looking forward to this particularly because it's, well, one, they're both heavy hitters, but secondly, because it's 50-50, isn't it?
It's 50-50. It's a clash of styles. It's headline Don't Blink because both boxers, big punches. They've got something like 20 knockouts in 40 contests, something like that. So, yeah, it really is one to watch out for. So 40 knockouts, should I say, in 46 contests. That's the stat I was looking for. So, yeah, they are. But either one of them has got the ability to knock each other out in the first round. A lot of people think it's going to go long, but you just never know with heavyweight boxing, chappers. It could be just one shot and it's all over. So, yeah, it's going to be a cracker.
But at the end of it, Richie, they've both got a lot of knockouts, haven't they? We can agree on that.
Yeah, they're big punches, and the thing is, especially Wardley is such a one-punch knockout man, and he can pull it out the bag. And in time and again, when he's been behind in a contest, he seems to bring it out from nowhere, and he finishes his opponents off. So you never know.
And just as I wait for the two to come back out at the Etihad, do you feel they both have a point to prove? Wardley because of how he's got the world title, and Dubois because of some of his recent defeats, albeit against big names?
Well, I mean, in his last contest against Alexander Usyk, there's no shame in that. He got beat in 5 rounds. So there's no shame in that. But so before that, he had 3 great wins, and so he'll want to get back to winning ways. He's a little bit more experienced now, chappers, in world title fights. He's had 6 in total, and he'll want to be a 2-time heavyweight champion. That will be on his mind, and he's got the weapons to do. He's got the tools to do the job.
Thank you, Richie. Richie Bunsey, all part of our team. Around 10 o'clock, something like that, on 5 Live tonight. The undercard and the build-up from 7 on Sports Extra. Big 45 minutes in the title race, this. Goalless between City and Brentford at half-time. Back to Michael and Ali.
Thank you, Mark. Yeah, we'll have the joy of watching Jeremy Doku close up in this second half as well. It's just kicked off. Manchester City in the light blue shirts, white shorts and light blue socks, shooting from right to left in this second half towards that north stand away to our left. So the closest touchline to us is this left one. Doku slides it through for O'Reilly. Can't quite get there in time. Kelleher quickly off his line, slides on the floor and grabs the ball for Brentford. Manchester City 0, Brentford 0. So yeah, huge 45 minutes in the title race. Arsenal play tomorrow away at West Ham. This Manchester City's latest game in hand. Starting tonight, 5 points behind Arsenal. If they don't win this game, Arsenal will need 2 wins from their last 3 to win the title. That's how it stands. And Brentford, with a point at the moment, would be sitting 8th in the Premier League table, 1 point behind Brighton, and 3 behind Bournemouth. Brighton and Bournemouth, who both won this afternoon. Donnarumma with a cheeky little chip inside his own penalty area. Just managed to get it to Bernardo Silva, and Manchester City bring the ball up to the halfway line. No changes made at half-time by either manager. Here's Ake. Ake's ball to Doku. So here we go, close up again. Doku against Coyote. Coyote just leaning down, looking at the ball. Doku looking at his man, dummies as if to go, keeps the ball at his right foot into the penalty area, slides the pass to Cherki, onto his right foot, shoots! Just wide of the near post and behind for the goal kick.
Yeah, really good start from City. Jeremy Doku getting on the ball, trying to create, and then once Ryan Cherki gets it, he's got that step over the drag, hits it near post, well wide in the end. It looked a little bit closer, there was no space. Seeing all those Brentford players getting back into shape really well, being so organised, and what happens next for them? Do they go for it? Does City go for it? We know City are going to in a big way towards the end of this game.
Lewis Potter shoulder to shoulder with Mateus Nunes. Nunes just bumps Lewis Potter off the ball. Had to keep it in play though, down by the dead ball line. Thiago knocks Gahey over as they battle for the ball. Free kick taken quickly by Gahey, who's on his feet. 2 minutes gone in the second half, and the pass from Reinders, not the best for O'Reilly. Manchester City have kept the ball. Line's already open for 6:06. Natalie Pike and Clinton Morrison taking the calls after this game on 5 Live and BBC Sounds. Number to dial is 08085 909 693. Updates of Motherwell Hearts. Huge game in the Scottish Premiership title race. Later on, it kicks off at 8. Cherki. Little back heel to Semenyo. Then Silva involved. Cherki wide on the right. Semenyo darts into the penalty area ahead of him. Cherki holds onto the ball, passes back to Nunes across the face of the box here to Bernardo Silva. Back to goal, passes to Nunes. Wide it goes to Cherki. Cherki's got a one-on-one here with Lewis Potter. Dainty step over, dummies the cross, drags it back again onto the left foot, teasing and toying all the time. Looks for the runner Semenyo. Brentford have it covered again, and the pass goes straight out for a goal kick. So Manchester City, Donnarumma in goal, Nunes, Gahey, Ake and O'Reilly. Bernardo Silva's on a yellow card alongside Tijani Reinders in midfield. Nico Gonzalez on the bench for this one, and still no Rodri. Ruben Dias back in the matchday squad. Jordan Henderson, by the way, back in the Brentford matchday squad, having missed the last 4 games. Semenyo, Cherki, Doku and Erling Harland, who had the one clear chance for him first half was a cross from Doku from the left, which he headed wide of the target. Brentford have Kelleher in goal, and they've popped Aaron Hickey in midfield for this game. So Lewis Potter at left back, Coyote at right back, Ayer and Collins the 2 centre backs, Hickey, Jensen, Yarmolyuk the midfield 3, and then Sharda, Damsgaard and Igor Thiago. Ball forward here into the centre circle to Yarmolyuk. Wide it goes to Coyote, tries to beat O'Reilly, who's fouled him, says the referee. Keith Andrews, the Brentford boss, applauds the decision. Free kick for Brentford, who I think are enjoying being a proverbial pain in the backside for Manchester City here, because Brentford themselves have plenty to play for. And I think the plan, Mark, is, you know, take it deep, stay in the game. Hopefully that chance will come. I mean, first half, Sharda got away, didn't he? And there was a potential. We were looking at a potential penalty in that first half, which was waved away pretty quickly by VAR.
They know there's opportunities because City are going to open up, and then they can catch up. The high lines there, but can they? City are going to start being relentless, I'm sure, with the...
Jensen's pass into the penalty area. Ayer stretched out a left leg, couldn't control it. Donnarumma slides to the floor, grabs the ball, slings it out over, doesn't find his man. Sharda intercepts, falls to Harland. It's got a bit scrappy inside the Manchester City half. Shirky decides to take control, runs away from a tackle. And then the pass down the right-hand side releases Semenyo, and the flag stays down. Semenyo wide on the right. Harland making tracks in the middle. Still Semenyo, clever back heel. Here's Shirky, dummies the shot onto the left foot. Bodies all around him. Tries to lay it back here to Bernardo Silva. Tackled by Damsgaard. And Yarmouth is there in support. Passes forward to Thiago inside his own half. And lays it back to Lewis Potter. And we'll keep an eye on the stopwatch as we go, obviously, throughout the second half, because 5 minutes have already whizzed by. Manchester City, in terms of the title race, well, they need to win this game to move within 2 points of Arsenal away at West Ham tomorrow. Here come Brentford, space for them inside the Manchester City half. Damsgaard gets on the ball, passes to his left here to Yarmouth. Thiago's pointing, wants it, the angle's tight. Gahey follows him, blocks his path there and just forces him out of the box and away from goal. Yarmouth is there though, plays it back to Lewis Potter, couple of touches from him. Wide to Yarmouth. This time Damsgaard makes the run on the left. Dummies the cross. Gahey follows him out there. They're over in the right-back position for Manchester City. Nunes stabs it away, but only as far as Lewis Potter. And Brentford come again, working it back to the halfway line for now, to their captain Nathan Collins. Jensen's ball to Damsgaard. Damsgaard looking for the run of Thiago. Ake's got it covered this time. He goes to ground. Free kick is given. Ake knocked the ball behind for what would have been a corner. Thiago shrugs and says, what can you do? Free kick for Manchester City, 0-0.
Yeah, the ball came across, didn't it? There was a little bit of contact, but Keith Andrews is saying absolutely no chance. I mean, it's a really good move initially, and then there's a nice ball in behind. It was probably tight. Would it have been offside? It's a really interesting one, wasn't it? You're just getting in behind that line. City a bit square at times.
In terms of the drop points for Manchester City in the title race this season, at home, 3 draws here. 1 defeat right at the start of the season against Spurs, not been beaten at home in the league since then. But 3 of the draws have come in the last 7 games at home. A couple early in January against Chelsea and Brighton, more recently against Nottingham Forest. And here, trying to find a way to break Brentford down. Ake chips one down the left. O'Reilly stretches the legs to chase that. Coyote's got it covered, and O'Reilly just gives him a rather unnecessary shove in the back, and Coyote goes tumbling off the pitch and down towards the advertising hoardings. Kelleher helps him to his feet. Both Ayer and Collins complain to the referee about the challenge. The referee doesn't want to hear any more of that.
Just get on with it. They're only telling you what they think. It's a bad push.
Yeah.
You know, and it's not just, you know, oh, don't do it again. You know, this is the point, isn't it? But why is it that you can't go to them? I understand the respect thing, right?
Yeah.
I get that. But you're still allowed to compete and give an opinion.
Yeah, Nathan Collins is the captain, isn't he? So he's certainly allowed to go and have a word with the referee. They weren't hectoring him there at all. They were just questioning. Little flick here from Sharda, looking to get Damsgaard away down the left. Important defending, manfully done by Gahey. Passes it down the right-hand touchline to Semenyo. Quick feet from him. Back it comes to Gahey again. Manchester City 0, Brentford 0. Into the second half in the Gallagher Premiership, game that kicked off this evening. Bristol trail Saracens by 34 points to 21. Leicester beat Northampton 41-22 earlier on today. Wins for England and France as well. So both of them in the Women's Six Nations, 4 wins out of 4. Semenyo step over on the right. Space opening up. Semenyo's left-footed curler. Again, high and wide. And behind for the goal kick. The long-range shooting has not tested Kelleher as yet from Manchester City.
He likes that, doesn't he? Antoine Semenyo coming onto that left foot, tries to swoop it, curl it, that far corner. He's way under it, not even close. 3-man press here now. Kelleher's got to be careful. Really interesting that they've got that composure to play out under that press. Full credit when you get away with it, or when you're good enough to do it. Yeah, either or, and it looked like they were good enough.
Yeah, that was good from Brentford. Played out under pressure. Hickey's ball, Coyote keeps that in on the right. Thundering forward, left-footed pass. Thiago could be in, takes a touch. The angle's tight, shoots. Donnarumma gets down, makes the save, and Gahey slides in to knock it behind for a corner.
This move from Brentford was absolutely sensational. Under pressure straight away from the 3. They whipped it into midfield, then they had runners. He already just plays it in behind, and you just see from there on, Thiago had the option of Sharda across, and he doesn't play it. He stutters and waits to get his strike. It wasn't clean, it wasn't true power. it was under Donnarumma. It wasn't really that convincing from the goalkeeper, although he does do his job. He gets a hand to him. I think if he plays it early across the tap-in, imagine that.
Oh, the ball across rather than a
across,
shot.
simple tap-in, that would have been watched, that goal.
Highlights match of the day tonight, BBC One at 10:20. Corner for Brentford, nervy moments for Manchester City in the title race. Starting tonight, 5 points behind Arsenal. This the game in hand. Floated to the far post from Jensen, volleyed away by Shirky, chased by Doku. Damsgaard's only got eyes for Doku there, tries to block the run, did enough to stop him, which meant Coyote could hook the ball into the Manchester City half. Bernardo Silva knocked over by Jensen, no free kick, floats the ball towards Thiago, chases it diagonally into the Manchester City penalty area and does keep it in play on the left, is able to turn. Gay goes out to try and close the danger down, still Thiago, lays it back here, Lewis Potter dummies, then chips a left-footed cross to the far post, but beyond Schade and behind for the goal kick to Manchester City. But early in the stages of this second half, more threat from Brentford, game opening up, and Pep Guardiola, we played 11 minutes in this second half, is getting ready to make some changes for Manchester City. Phil Foden has come sprinting back to the bench, and Marmoush as well, Omar Marmoush in the bright orange bib has been given the call.
He was pointing towards, and all the subs were out there. And you look and he's going, not you, the other one. And you're like, me? No, him.
Look keen,
it's the worst feeling. You're looking at him, right. Well, I had it a lot, not you, mate. You stay there.
Michael Brown being self-deprecating, of course, here on 5 Live and BBC Sound. 6:06 to follow. Then the big fight tonight, 10 o'clock on 5 Live. Fabio Wardley against Daniel Dubois. Not too far from here. Fabulous day of sport on 5 Live tomorrow. Celtic Rangers full commentary at midday. Nottingham Forest Newcastle at 2. West Ham Arsenal in full at 4:30 on 5 Live's Premier League Sunday. Women's FA Cup semi-finals tomorrow as well. National League playoff final at Wembley. Free kick for Brentford, into the area it goes. Gahey heads it away. Hickey sort of scuffs a shot into the box. O'Reilly leaps and clears on the volley. Pep Guardiola is anxious and pacing. Chip down the left, that's got to be offside. Yeah, flags up against Damsgaard, crosses the ball in, Donnarumma catches it. 12 minutes have gone in the second half. Time is ticking away for Manchester City, who desperately need to win the game to get as close as they can to Arsenal in this title race. Marmoush and Foden stripped off immediately and ready to go. Foden's getting some final instructions. We're waiting to see who they are going to be coming on to replace. In the meantime, it definitely won't be Doku. Doku is on the move, sizzling run, moving infield, away from Coyote, still with the ball at his feet. Schade gives him a shove, but Doku had already played the pass to Nunez. Semenyo has it on the right. Harland is lurking in the middle, 3 step overs, past the Shirky, just inside the area. Quick feed again, gets him away from trouble. Cross comes in, headed away by Hickey, falls to Semenyo, thought about the shot, decided against it. Doku now, edge of the area to O'Reilly. O'Reilly, tight spaces again, just bodies all around him, trying to tee himself up for the shot. Brentford hack it away. Ake knocks his clearance into the body of Thiago. The ball rebounds hard towards Donnarumma. You can sense more desperation about this Manchester City performance. They know the time is ticking away.
Yeah, well, when you see the next substitutions, you're going to go, really, just going to get everybody on that front line, and we've got to go for it now. This is it. This is the moment.
Throw everything at it. Manchester City. Doku again looking to go on the outside. 3 defenders converge there, make the tackle, and it goes behind for the corner. That was Yarmolyuk, Coyote and Hickey.
You're looking at 1, 2, 3. Which one of them?
Wow.
You take a risk, don't you, when you do that? Because that one square pass comes behind you. He's the substitutions now. City look like they're going to do it. Reinders.
Yeah, Reinders off. Foden on. You'd just like Phil Foden to pop up with something really important for Manchester City. He was such an important player first half of this season as disappointed Manchester City. Shakes his head in slight disappointment, but no grumble at the decision. So Marmoush and Harland up top, and Foden is going to try and do the Shirky.
Marmoush can score a goal. I think we know that, don't we? You know, he hasn't had the best of times. He's not really had much football. Phil Foden, we're still waiting for him. Wonderful talent.
Corner was taken short. Doku wins a tackle. Doku shoots! He's done it again! It's an exact replica of the goal he scored against Everton on Monday night. Works the ball onto his right foot from the angle. Goalkeeper Kelleher can do nothing about it. It's a big goal in the title race for Manchester City, and it's Jeremy Doku who's delivered it. Manchester City 1, Brentford 0.
Oh, it's postage stamp in it. Top corner. When the save balls go into the top corner, well, this one did. He wrapped his foot around it, right the way around, and he dispatched it into that top corner. But there was a bit of hesitation before it. They've defended so well, Brentford, but when you're not sure, you're waiting. Substitutions, come on. Who's going short? What's next? And then they just let him go into the box. They weren't sure about it. And then it was just a little ricochet, give him the space. But this finish is as good as it gets. It's clean, it's powerful, it's accurate. That's no fluke. What a goal.
Brentford making a change. This was planned before the goal went in. Janelt is coming on for Hickey. Manchester City have made the double change. And Jeremy Doku is the man for Manchester City at the moment. Win this one, Manchester City will be 2 points behind Arsenal, who go to West Ham tomorrow. We've got full commentary on the game. It kicks off at 4:30. Final score in the rugby, by the way, I think I gave us Leicester 41, Northampton 22. It was Leicester 41, Northampton 17. Just to cross the T's and dot the I's on that one. So, Manchester City have the lead. What have Brentford got in response? Well, the first thing they're going to do is try and attack City with one of these long throws from the left. Michael Coyote. He's going to take a good run at this. Holds his left arm in the air, trots towards the sideline, launches it into the penalty area. Gaze up to win the header. It goes straight up in the air. Aya gets another ball into the box. That hits Ake on the head. Lobbed forward. Donnarumma comes, catches it, and catches Kevin Schade in the back as he grabbed that ball, and Schade is down in pain inside the 6-yard box, and the Manchester City fans think he's making a meal of it. Definitely looked like a collision in the box. Manchester City lead 1-0 and the game is paused for now. Michael Brown.
I think it's the knee into the back. Do you know when the goalkeeper comes to collect and he makes sure that nobody around him's in the way? Possibly is one of those, and you won't want to take one of them in the back. Let's just get another look. But it was all sorts of strange decisions. Oh, it is that, exactly that, right into the base.
Oof. The small of
his
the back.
The small of the back, or even a tiny bit lower. That will be uncomfortable.
Ouch. Yeah, I mean, Manchester City fans are giving Schade plenty here, but I don't think any of them would want Donnarumma's knee in their back.
What they're saying is to the official, why did you stop it? That's what they're saying.
Yeah, OK.
Donnarumma's away, there's a counter-attack. He's stepping forward, he's going to play it into Bernardo on that left-hand side, but we'll just get another look at that finish into the top corner. We talked again, didn't we? Practicing youngsters, the area of the pitch, trying to get better at it, give you another option.
You and I, Michael, were at Wembley when Doku made the difference there. 1-0 down against Southampton, scored the equaliser. Manchester City got the second and have made the FA Cup final. 2 goals against Everton. Here's Semenyo, cross in, Kelleher dives to the floor, catches it at his near post. And who knows how important that late equaliser at Everton could prove to be. We'll have to see what Arsenal do tomorrow and how the rest of the season pans out. And again, when they needed him, and he was slightly fortuitous this evening in terms of the first pass in to the area wasn't a good one, but the clearance wasn't the best back to him, and that's how it opened up. But then you've got to be good enough to fashion that finish, and at the moment he has got that absolutely down to a T. 18 minutes gone, second half. Manchester City 1, Brentford 0, and Donnarumma very casually lets the ball run towards him. And Kevin Schade comes hoving into view, but Donnarumma waits for him, picks the ball up, moves away from him.
This is here we go again now, Ali, right? How does City approach the next few moments? What do they do? Do they risk it? Do they say, right, we've got to go and score again, here's what it is? And then Brentford ready, waiting to jump out. There's little areas now, I just think those wide ones when centre-backs, full-backs go higher, you can catch them.
Bernardo Silva on the turn. Next up for Manchester City, they're at home to Crystal Palace on Wednesday. This time next week, FA Cup final. 5 Live will be there, of course, at Wembley. Doku on the move again, looking for that pass-through. Might come back to Doku. Didn't find Marmoush. Brentford have got it away. Damsgaard tries to work it out to Yarmolyuk, but smothering pressure from Manchester City. Bernardo Silva opens things up, immediately looks for Doku. Doku against Coyote. Tired legs, tired mind, I'm sure, for Brentford's right back. Absolutely exhausting trying to cover Doku. Nunes. Here's Foden. Foden in the inside right channel, just lends the ball to Semenyo. Semenyo speeds off down the right, cuts it back to Foden. Ball underneath his feet. Did well to control that, but couldn't make anything of it. Now it's Nathan Collins who comes charging out wide on the left for Brentford and thinks he's won them a throw. 20 minutes played, 25 minutes to go. Manchester City lead Brentford 1-0. And if they win the game, 2 points behind Arsenal, ahead of West Ham, Arsenal tomorrow. Here's Christopher Ayer. Tall figure. Hair in the neat side parting, passes forward to Matthias Jensen, base of that Brentford midfield. Curls a low ball to Coyote, first time touch down the right, looking for Yarmolyuk. Ake's got it covered, passes back to Donnarumma. Thiago comes charging towards him. Donnarumma passes it away to Gahey. Gahey gliding up towards the halfway line. Feeds Semenyo. Semenyo back to Gahey again. Manchester City in control at the moment, but as you say, Michael, given the fact they were caught out at Everton on Monday, I think Pep Guardiola will be insistent.
It's similar, you know. It's similar where you're looking, you're going, right, okay, they're sat waiting, no rush yet, but will still come and cause problems at City. And another game in now, they know they've got to go and score 2 or 3.
Have to win the game, Manchester City. Doku, corner of the Brentford box, teasing Coyote again. Another defender in the way, that's Yarmolyuk. Tries to knock Doku off balance, doesn't manage it. It opens space on the left for O'Reilly. O'Reilly back to Silva, looking for Foden. Ball runs to Doku, edge of the penalty area. Red and white shirts all over him. Brentford get bodies in the way. Here's Doku, and then Foden! Kelleher saves with his legs. The ball spins out into the Brentford area. Jensen hooks it away. Again, came to Foden rather fortuitously, and he couldn't quite find the finish. Manchester City lead 1-0.
He needs a goal, you know, Phil Foden. He got into the position. I thought, here we go. Right, look at Brentford, still at it, still closing down. As it just falls to him, he dances through, and just in that into that 6-yard area. Good save at the feet of Kelleher.
Intensity from Manchester City. Got caught by Everton on Monday. Can't afford for that to happen again. 1-0 is not a safe lead, so here they come. Doku on the ball, walking pace at the moment. Tiptoes into that Brentford penalty area. O'Reilly in support on the left. Takes the pass, gives it back to Doku again. It's just that, just shakes his shoulders. Jigs the body, tries to fool the defender. Marmoush is tackled on the edge of the box. Damsgaard brings it away. Marmoush chases. Sharda takes it on for Brentford. Nunes has it covered. Foul by Sharda. Free kick for Manchester City midway through the second half. Dango Ouattara is about to come on for Brentford here, who need the points themselves. Let's not forget that as well. Really important in terms of the race for European football next season. And Brentford have never had that, of course. So Dango Ouattara is going to come on for Mikael Damsgaard with a quarter of this game remaining. Ouattara comes jogging on and is already dishing out the instructions. So Bournemouth sitting in 6th after their win on 55 points. Brighton after their win on 53. Brentford lose this, they'll be on 51 with 2 games to go. Harland using his strength, trying to get away from Ayer. Both players end up on the floor. Harland complains, no free kick given. Brentford keep playing. Ouattara gets his first touch since coming on the field. Knocked off it by Doku, that is given as a foul. Ouattara looked like he'd overrun that. Doku complains, and Pep Guardiola sort of crouches down.
What was he like, the downward dog, or what was it like? He's squat thrust, old school.
He rolled himself up in a little ball, didn't he? They're both quite fit, these managers, aren't they, Michael? Up, down.
A little bit of frustration.
Yeah, a little bit.
Ouattara coming on. Yarmolyuk's gone across, so he's gone right-hand side. That long diagonal pass. It's fetched over, but Semenyo sees it off. And
great touch.
You know, it's just now, isn't it? Risk to reward from both sides. It's going to be a really good ending to this game.
Yeah, lines open for 6:06. Natalie Pike and Clinton Morrison taking the calls. 08085 909 693. Boxing on the way. Big night of boxing on 5 Live. About 5 minutes time, actually, the undercard coverage starts on Sports Extra. The fight here in Manchester tonight, building towards the big one, the heavyweight clash for the world title. Fabio Wardley against Daniel Dubois. Excellent 5 Live coverage, as always, available via the BBC Sounds app too, if you're on the move this evening. This is Manchester City 1, Brentford 0. 20 minutes to play. But Manchester City fans know very well what happened to them on Monday night. Cannot afford another slip up here. Here's Janelt, another one who appeared on the preview show last night on 5 Live. The ball is back with Kelleher. Kelleher to Collins, forward to Jensen. Back to Collins. Cross it goes into the left-back position to Janelt. Patient build-up from Brentford. Thiago's forced the save from Donnarumma in this second half. That came at 0-0. Now Brentford trailing by a goal to 0. Kelleher passes through the lines, up the middle of the pitch. Jensen calmly strokes it to his left to Collins, and Brentford will not be rushed. Walking pace, Collins. Jensen drops in between the centre-backs. Thin white headband ties his long hair back. Ayer receives the ball, running inside his own half. Out to the right he goes to Ouattara, just short of the halfway line. Fabulous ball into the feet of Thiago. Thiago pokes it to shoulder. Might have got a nudge in the back from Nunes there. He's down on the floor. The referee didn't see it. VAR will certainly be looking at that. And I think Mateus Nunes will be lucky if he gets away with that. We'll have another look when the replay comes up, but that looked like a big penalty shout for Brentford. Could be a massive moment in the title race, this.
And is it offside, though? That's the other thing for me, is right. The line's so tight. His left foot might be. Thiago goes in. This time he plays the ball over, and is there a nudge? Oh, there's contact.
Two key questions, Michael, you're right. Is it offside? In which case, doesn't matter. Was it a nudge? Is it a penalty? Manchester City leading Brentford 1-0. A lot of consternation. All the players surrounding the referee. Cheers for the man, and he's saying no penalty. I can read his lips there, the referee. Michael Salisbury is saying no penalty. And I don't think they've even gone back, have they, to look at the offside? I think he's saying no penalty, as in the challenge just isn't a penalty. I think.
Does he lock his legs? Does he let it go? Here we go. Foden's on.
Yeah, Doku into the Brentford half, middle of the field, takes on Ouattara, keeps going. Little back heel was looking for Semenyo. Doku decides to keep going himself, then finds Mateus Nunes. If no one else will do it, says Jeremy Doku, I'll keep doing it.
Yeah, but Nunes should have as well. He should just carry on, keep the tempo up.
Doku, inspiration, edge of the area, left-footed shot, just wide. Goal kick. Manchester City 1, Brentford 0.
That was brilliant. He deserved it, didn't he? Tenacious run right through the middle. He gets back on the ball, and then he goes, right, I'm going to make something happen. Looks to go right, and it's a really nice curler into that far corner, deflected wide. His head's focused, and he hits it really nice, actually.
Yeah, may well have been on target. Not a goal kick, it's a corner. Took a slight deflection. Manchester City desperate for the second goal to give themselves that cushion. 18 minutes plus added time to go. They lead Brentford 1-0. Away swinger from Foden, headed up in the air by Ayer. Kelleher comes a long way, fists the ball away, only as far as Bernardo Silva. Kelleher quickly back onto his goal line. Semenyo, two defenders in front of him. Nearly got past the pair of them, passes back to Bernardo Silva, then to Mateus Nunes. Close to the halfway line is O'Reilly, but Manchester City have worked it round to you-know-who. Jeremy Doku. Defenders backing off. Foden in space just to his left. Pokes it to his right to Marmoush. Back it comes to O'Reilly. O'Reilly side foots a pass to Gehi, and across it comes to Ake. Ake to Doku. Doku again starts to arrow in from that left-hand touchline. O'Reilly just outside the area, more central position, looking for Foden, couldn't find him. Ouattara's got the pace to get away from O'Reilly, got to be a booking. Hauled him to the floor, could see the danger, and takes one for the team, as they say, Michael Brown.
Yeah. He realised there's a promising attack, and at that point he goes, right, I'm going to make the decision. I don't know if he needed to do that yet, you know. Do you know, I just feel it's a long way to go. He's going to run you into the opposite side, as there is a little bit of action now. Jordan Henderson just had a little look, and it was over, is it me, is it not? In the same moment before, as Keith Andrews is asking for substitutions, but can Brentford get back into it? They're making the runs, they're having a go.
Yeah, just over.
But City will jump on this.
Just over 15 minutes to play, and that's where we're at with this game. Brentford having a go. There's still a threat from them, but it makes Manchester City more dangerous if they get the second goal. You feel that would be too much for Brentford. Let's see. Premier League table as it stands at the top. Manchester City win this game. Arsenal and Man City will both have played 35, will both have 3 games to go. Arsenal will lead by 2 points. Semenyo on the right, driving run down to the byline, crossing to the near post. Harland's there. Now can Harland finish with the back heel? Somehow he gets it across the line, and cushion. Not the prettiest goal Erling Haaland will ever score, but I think on the back heel, he eventually bobbled it over the line, and it's Manchester City 2, Brentford 0. Manchester City moving to within 2 points of Arsenal at the top.
It was one of the scruffiest goals, but as you can hear that stadium shout Erling Haaland's name, he won't care. He manages to just get something on it. It was almost like a back heel. It was sort of falling away, but when he's in front of goal, he gets those arms out, causes problems. It was good work initially down that right-hand side from Semenyo, and then just to get another look. Now it's like a really good finish. It's away from him. He sort of has to like Cruyff turn back heel it towards the goal, and it just sort of bounces in, but off he goes.
That's really creative from Harland, the big man. Good touch for a big man. First one, he stabs with his right foot, which is an attempt at goal, but it doesn't go very far. He immediately then, with his left foot, balancing on the right, hooks it with the back. It's the Cruyff turn and into the back of the net.
Without the turn, just a hit like that sort of shape though.
37th goal of the season, 26th in the Premier League. Manchester City lead Brentford by 2 goals to 0. Foden wins it for Manchester City. Bernardo Silva gives it away, but Ouattara fouled Foden.
Foden's hurt, you know. He's hurt, he's holding his foot.
Yeah.
Let's see. But there was a little nutmeg as well, and then a bit of afters from Bernardo Silva, who's on the yellow card, and I thought he was going to get caught. But Ouattara catches Phil Foden late. The atmosphere's increased.
Yeah, in terms of the numbers, Manchester City moving to 74 points. Just in case it's important, goal difference improving to plus 39. Arsenal's is plus 41. Manchester City goals scored, they're 4 ahead. They've scored 71. Arsenal have 67. Pep Guardiola, ants in his pants, cheeking around on the touchline. O'Reilly dealing with an awkward bouncing ball inside his own half. Foden's okay, chests it down, passes it back to O'Reilly. 13 minutes plus added time to play. Doku's coming back from an offside position. Harland chases all the way downfield. Kelleher saw him coming, runs into the right back position, clears with his right foot. Jordan Henderson is going to get into the game for Brentford. Nice touch here from Schade to Janelt. The ball breaks in midfield. Back it comes to Jensen. First time ball with the left foot. It's perfectly swung into the path of Ouattara. Ouattara's got O'Reilly backpedaling, gets down to the byline, wants O'Reilly to make that challenge. Doku comes back to help out. Ouattara gets a foot on the ball, but can only knock it as far as O'Reilly. O'Reilly challenged by Coyote, who gives him a shove into the hoardings, which is exactly what O'Reilly did to Coyote earlier in the half. Cross into the far post, volleyed away by Mateus Nunes, controlled by Yarmolyuk on the volley. Coyote dummies across with his right foot, 35 yards from goal in the inside right channel, and plays it back to Matthias Jensen. So Brentford need to score and need to score soon. Ouattara beats Doku, crosses in with his right foot towards the far post, beyond Thiago, beyond everyone, and out for the throw into Manchester City in the right back position. Manchester City 2, Brentford 0. Goals from Doku and Harland. They will not go quietly, and Arsenal will know they're lurking there, 2 points behind them ahead of their game at West Ham tomorrow. Full commentary on 5 Live. It kicks off at 4:30. Yarmolyuk off, Jordan Henderson on. Warmly greeted by the Manchester City fans.
Yeah, they'll enjoy it even more, won't he, when he gets that reception. Some pro, some career, the leader in that dressing room for Keith Andrews. Some addition to come on for them, and I know your legs go and it's not the same, but super fit boy.
Could be in that England squad, Michael.
Yeah, he could be, and he'll be very much the advisor to the team, that's for certain. Whether there's any more, we'll soon see.
Yeah, Harland's trying to close down here. Kelleher, first time ball with the instep of the right foot, intercepted by Bernardo Silva. Little flick on from Marmoush, works out as a flick on to himself here. The Egyptian little nutmeg, knocked it through the legs of Ayer, had to foul him. Free kick here for Manchester City, and Christopher Ayer gets booked. He was hoodwinked there by Omar Marmoush. Good skills, runs the clock down for Manchester City. Another attacking threat coming. 10 minutes to go. They lead 2-0. Doing their job so far this evening. Let's remind you what's coming up tomorrow as well. Celtic Rangers full commentary at midday. Nottingham Forest Newcastle on 5 Live at 2. West Ham Arsenal in full at 4:30. Tonight it's Motherwell Hearts ahead of Celtic Rangers tomorrow, and then on Wednesday night we'll have full commentary from Hearts Falkirk on 5 Live. So depending on how those games play out tonight and tomorrow, well, it's going to be another massive night at Tynecastle, whichever way it goes, so don't miss that. Monday Night Club on Monday night. Commentators' View special on Tuesday night on 5 Live. Foden's free kick. Kelleher's there, he's got it covered, catches it cleanly on the goal line. Little underarm ball to Coyote. Doku nearly took it off him. Manchester City swarming around the Brentford players and looking for a third goal. Doku has it. Back it comes to O'Reilly. O'Reilly across to Phil Foden, who, as Michael Brown was saying, could really do with a goal to put a smile on his face. It could come late in this game. Doku's been the difference again for Manchester City. Trying to draw Coyote in. Passes back to O'Reilly. The pace is slowed, but he can go from slow to full speed so quickly, Doku. Space is there on the left. O'Reilly runs into it. Doku passes to him. Then has to stretch to control the pass back, but does keep it. Moves away from Shard, who's fed up with Doku. Goes through the back of him. Shoves him over. And the free kick's given. Referee tried to play advantage. That was just, I've had enough of you.
Well, I'm surprised nobody's done that before. You know, like just literally put him off his stride, try and frustrate him, trying to distract his play. It doesn't have to be a really bad foul, but something, some sort of an awareness that somebody's trying to stop him. He's done so well, Annie Doku.
Oh, brilliant. Semenyo on the right for Manchester City, running at Lewis Potter, trying to get down to that byline. Does get the cross in. Aya stretches, heads it away, only as far as Doku. Still as a statue, passes it back to Silva. Silva delays his ball. Here's Marmoush, edge of the box, into the feet of Foden. Foden works that brilliantly. Out to the left it goes to Doku. Applause from the City fans for the Foden skill. Doku goes on the outside, beats Ouattara. Cross comes. Oh, Foden first time, nearly scored. That is an amazing save from Kevin Kelleher. Pure reflexes, down low to his right to somehow tip that over the bar. Because the finish, well, the attempted finish from Foden was superb, but the save matched it.
Well, 1v1 as well. There's the byline. Jeremy Doku pulls it back. Foden right under his feet. We've just seen him just before that with a little really good 1-2, growing into confidence. A really good effort. And then a top save, right hand. I'm not even sure how he gets it over the top of the goal.
What a save. Foden's corner. Ake wins the first header. Marmoush trying to hold his man off. The ball bounces inside the penalty area, hoisted away by Janelt. Falls to Mateus Nunes. 8 minutes plus added time remaining. Manchester City leading 2-0 and heading towards a win that will put them within 2 points of Arsenal. Both teams having played 35 games ahead of Arsenal's trip to West Ham tomorrow. And don't forget how important that game is to West Ham. Will start in the bottom 3. Having lost to Brentford last week, a point behind Spurs, who are at home to Leeds on Monday. We love this time of the season.
Look at the referee right now.
Yeah.
Right, he's stopping the game, he's waiting, and he has to say to him, right, I'm going to tell everyone that I'm telling him not to make a foul on Doku, although it's a very, very minimal one. Just tell him without stopping the game.
Get on with it.
Still tell him.
Yeah. Volleys the ball away. Henderson goes for a first-time long ball down the middle of the field. Gahey's got it covered. Heads away. O'Reilly glancing header only as far as Ouattara. Good challenge by Bernardo Silva. The ball finds Harland. Harland at full steam. Here he goes, charging at Brentford defenders through to Marmoush. And Marmoush is brilliantly tackled there by Christopher Aya, who saves Brentford probably from conceding a third goal in the nick of time.
He's hurt himself as well, but it's a top tackle. Harland, great determination. He just sets off Marmoush, and just as he's thinking, right, here I go, I'm going to be able to just get me shot across. He comes from the blind side. There's contact between the two of them. They both feel it. It's Phil Ford who just addresses that corner kick. No, it's a good tackle, isn't it?
That's the problem as well, just calling Brentford Brighton there. We've got Bournemouth in 6th, Brighton in 7th, and Brentford in 8th. It's just
all these teams down south near you.
Yeah, that's right.
Take it over.
Foden with the corner. In it comes towards the far post. Gahey jumps, can't get a header on the ball. Landed heavily, still down inside the 6-yard box. Travels all the way left to Doku. Manchester City leading Brentford 2-0. 6:06 on the way shortly. Doku down to the byline. Cut back, nearly found Harland. Thiago is there, who's now a goal further behind Erling Haaland. Comes chasing back, tackles Henderson. Henderson gets the pass away to Ouattara. He's tackled. Mateus Nunes comes charging forward. Little back heel finds Harland, who's in the left wing position. He slows everything down, passes across to the halfway line. Pep Guardiola applauds. They've got it going for him in the second half for Manchester City, and he certainly still believes. Bernardo Silva's ball to the right to Semenyo.
I still think they go for another goal.
Yeah.
City, do you not agree?
No, I think so.
Yeah, they might as well.
Foden, high, drifted ball out to the left. Doku brings it down on his chest, spinning to a stop at the toe of his right boot. Back it comes to Ake. Here's O'Reilly, wide to Doku on the left. Marmoush points where he wants it. Doku goes infield to Foden. Foden forced back into his own half. 5 minutes remaining in the game. 08 085 909 693 to get your calls in, to have your say on the weekend's football action with Natalie Pike and Clinton Morrison. Updates of Motherwell Hearts to come, and
But he is on a yellow, so he's got to be careful. Now he's pushing and shoving between Henderson and Bernardo Silva. Maybe frustrations from both boiling over. Núñez gets involved, Harland's coming over. A bit of pushing and shoving over, absolutely nothing. Bernardo Silva, again, he's got 3 Manchester City players and 3 monsters in Donnarumma, Harland in front of him as well. So he's almost, now he's walked through, he's almost goes, I'm going to just wind you all up and I'm just going to sit back because no one's going to do up to me. And still pushing and shoving. Henderson's furious.
I'm keeping an eye on Igor, Thiago and Donnarumma because those two have been going at it properly there. And Igor Thiago's actually been calling out Donnarumma. Eventually it's all sort of calmed down. But yeah, it's a bit of housekeeping for the referee to take care of now.
There's almost one thing happened, and as you say, then Thiago, well, the Donnarumma came over, so it's almost the referee's like, right, I've got this, okay, no, I've got a fire spot over here, fire spot, right, another one goes on over here, and I mean, Thiago just doing the talking to Donnarumma. The yellow cards come out from the referee. I want to say he's definitely already pointed it to one player, he's only pointing it to another. I'll be waiting for full confirmation of everything. That camera's pointing to Jordan Henderson, so I assume the former Liverpool man has been put in the book, and maybe even another player as well. Maybe Núñez is pointing to the
yeah, I mean, Núñez has been in the referee's face quite a few times already this afternoon. Henderson was very keen to ask the referee what that yellow card was for. I don't think Michael Salisbury actually gave him an answer to that, because he's still asking the question now.
Fifth yellow card on the season for the Bees at midfielder, and Núñez also usually does rack up a few yellow cards from, I can't remember, 5th yellow card of the season for him as well. So that's probably taken maybe 90 seconds, close maybe 2 minutes, a chunk out of time that'll just be added on at the end of the second half. Brentford look for a ball over the top of Lewis Potter. He has been really good at the back, just cutting out pieces of play, playing out from the back. He's been terrific. Ball over the top now from Foden, looking for Coyote. Kelleher comes out to nod it away. Not like that was going over the goalkeeper there, so he does well to just calmly nod it away. Pressure here by Doku. Plays it back to Collins, and Doku away with the ball. 90 seconds of the 90 minutes left to go. Collins inside his own corner flag almost will just lump it away. Takes no silly mistakes there, but he falls kindly in the middle. Sharda 1-2. Bernardo Silva does a great tackle from the Portuguese midfielder. Again on a yellow card, you've got to get that right, because that's one that if he misses, probably on the edge of a second yellow card. City lose the ball in the middle. Illegally, says the referee. Janelt, maybe, I don't know if it's Collins goes over and pushes him out of the way and says, right, I'm the captain, let me deal with this. Both Foden and Doku on the ground. Foden's gone down holding his face. I thought Janelt just was too big and too strong.
Yeah, I mean, there's an edge to this game towards the end now, which is just, I think Michael Salisbury's got to try and get a handle on this, because Brentford have felt aggrieved with a couple of his decisions. City have as well, in fairness. It's not as if City are delighted with the referee's performance today either. But it just feels as though in the last few minutes, a couple of decisions have gone against Brentford, and the visiting players really have reacted quite badly to it.
Foden went down. Again, from what I saw, Janelt just turned his man. I don't know if it's caught him or the Henderson free kicks and Henderson. I mean, Janelt, he doesn't. He's one of them. When you're trying to get in front of your man, you're not going to. He's not sticking an elbow out. But when you turn your body, one of your elbows is going to come out, and he does catch him, but it's not malicious.
He does, yes. The man of the match, Jeremy Doku, he's going to go off for these last few moments, just as we tick into injury time, and it gives us another chance to see his great goal.
It was a lovely effort. I feel, if anything, because his 2 efforts from last week were much better, it almost takes a shine off of that one, but it was a great effort. Again, he gets a standing applause of the Etihad, and well deserved as well. So for full confirmation of who has come on for him, if it's a single, substitute, or it might even be a double as well. Looks like Savinho.
Savinho it is, yeah.
And it looks like it's one as well, so we've just passed 90 minutes. We haven't got full confirmation of stoppage time, so that's an opportunity that we still can get more. Yalop plays it over the top to Igor Thiago. 5 minutes of stoppage time, so there's a couple of minutes looking Brentford strike in the next 90 seconds. Who knows? It's picked up by Jensen. Down the line for Thiago. Is he going to get there? He gets there, but it's out of play. Goal kick for City. Bernardo Silva's trying to quickly get the ball and play it back. Maybe trying to think, right, Brentford front, play it forward. We can go forward with it, but Brentford stuck around for a long time. But as soon as they got that second, I know they got the first and the second, but as soon as the second went in, it was kind of game over.
Yes, you felt that was it then, didn't you? But at 0-0, you could tell there was an edginess around Manchester City, and that's something that Brentford couldn't quite exploit enough.
Brentford back on the ball, so we played a minute. Oh, the 5 minutes of stoppage time. Brentford maybe even looking for a consolation goal, take something away from City that way. You've already spoke correctly, Paul, about the goals scored. Of course, looking at goal difference, City are plus 39, Arsenal plus 41. Some of them keep an eye, but in terms of goals for, because it stays level with goal difference, and that's where it goes. So City have 4 better off than Arsenal in that area, so they're quite happy with that. Bernardo Silva pass out to Savinho. Marmoush making a nice run. Savinho doesn't use him now, plays it into Harland. City could take over, get a third into the feet of Marmoush. Strike! And Marmoush makes it 3-0 to Manchester City. Another goal in the bag for the citizens. Marmoush hasn't exactly been a great time in just over a year in Manchester, but that could be a goal. Who knows with goal difference here, there and everywhere. Harland's put ball forward from Marmoush, finishes it off, and I think as well, considering the full 90 minutes, makes it look a lot better on paper than what it was as a game. 92 minutes on the clock, a few minutes of stoppage time to go. It's Manchester City 3, Brentford 0.
Yeah, I mean, I think to say that this scoreline flatters Man City would be a stretch, because they have been the much better side today over the 90 minutes. Whether or not the way the second half has gone, maybe 3 goals is a little bit harsh on Brentford, but City have been pushing forward, they've taken their chances and they've converted them. So I think from Brentford's point of view, it was just a disappointing game in defence at times.
Lovely finish from Marmoush. It's a lovely first touch to get away from Collins, and then he almost gets over it in the best of ways and drags it across there into the bottom corner. Nothing that Kelleher could do, and Pep Guardiola cutting a lot happier of a figure than it was at half time. And these last few minutes now, it's just played out. You could have put 3 minutes on the clock, couldn't you? And we'd be done and dusted. But for City, a really good second 45. The first 45 as well. Taro comes forward. Apologies back to Henderson again. And still wants to get a goal here. Swings one in just over the head over Thiago, cleared away as far as Lewis Potter. Brentford are going to keep playing and push until the very last second. As it stands now, City 2 points behind Arsenal. As I said, the Gunners to play tomorrow, but only 1 goal difference behind, and now 5 better goals for scored as well. So that again could be something that's important. Semenyo loses it. Lewis Potter picks it up, and out of Silva looking to chase down Henderson, but gets it away. Taro on the left-hand side, left and right, past O'Reilly, ball into the box, and goes up for the header to Thiago. It's a great save from Donnarumma, straight at him, but good reflexes from the keeper. That was a good cross from Taro. He's brought a lot to this.
He has. He's made a big impact. That's a good. Well, it's actually tipped onto the top of the bar there by Donnarumma. It wasn't the most orthodox of saves, actually, the way that he sort of palmed the ball across. But yellow card here for Marmoush, getting a bit too close to the Brentford man taking the corner.
He was. So another yellow card in the book going on with Nunes, Silva, O'Reilly. Marmoush joins them on the side of the Bees. And Henderson have picked up bookings from the referee. So it will be a corner, Jensen. Maybe this is Brentford going, right, let's throw over up, let's try and get a goal. Actually, they're playing short, but it's 1-2 between Henderson and Jensen. Ball back in, ball doesn't get cleared away. Yesterday, Semenyo just hoofs it away, and you can see Harland and Marmoush, they're driving forward to try and press the keeper. Kelleher, I can imagine, yes, will just try and swing it out back to the left-hand side, and Nunes, a nudge without it being a foul, just nudges Shadow out of the way, and it'll be a throw. And for City, as I say, professional performance, 3 goals, 3 points, good afternoon.
Patient as well, I think, from City. They had to work quite hard to get that first goal, but once they did, you just felt as though they were in control of the game. Then Brentford seemed to go a little bit flat after conceding that first goal. There may have been a handball there in favour of Brentford. We've had the full 5 minutes now anyway, so we'll see whether the referee wants to call the game, but for the time being, it's City on the attack.
Swung out to Semenyo. Will City grab a 4? Semenyo driving into the penalty area. Coyote too big, too strong. Semenyo puts it back into a dangerous area where Taro picks it up, and Silva's all over him. Goes out for a goal kick, and this might just be that. Usually what the referees always do, right, is a goal kick, you're going to boot it long. As soon as that happens, the final whistle will be blown, because Paul said we played extra about 30 seconds on top of that. The goal did come in stoppage time, so maybe the referee's just saying, right, an extra 30, 40
He
seconds.
may feel that. I mean, I always find it strange how the referee can't blow for full time when it's a goal kick, but now the goalkeeper clears it long, and for the time being, Michael Salisbury says play on.
All eyes are on the ref, because we are just mere seconds away from full time. City getting the job done, as Paul said. They were the better team this afternoon. Don't get me wrong in that, but kind of just got that first goal, moved away easily from Brentford, and that will be full time. Job done for City this afternoon. Took them a while to get going. Goals in the second half. Doku, Harland and Marmoush means 3 points, but pressure on the Gunners for tomorrow, and it will be interesting to see how they do respond. Full time from the Etihad, so it's Manchester City 3, Brentford 0.
Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck. Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck. Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck. Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck. Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck. Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck. Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck. Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck. Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck. Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck. Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck. Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting